Well, welcome back, everybody, after our long hiatus for the holidays and various life events. We're going to jump back into our campaign here into the ruins of Drakenheim, the forsaken city, the cosmic horror that is this decrepit former capital of Westamar. Last time, you all had returned from your excursion back to Reed Manor, having encountered Oscar Yoren's unknown contempt for you all, a trap that was set as he had somehow found out that you had dealings with the Amethyst Academy, a group that he did not see eye to eye with in the least. But having survived and also returning with some documentation from Oscar Yoren's laboratory at Reed Manor, you return to the Hooded Lantern's barracks. No less worse for wear, but you do return to find a entourage of paladins speaking with the higher authorities of the Hooded Lanterns, the Lord Commander Elias Drexel and his two lieutenants, the twins Petra and Ansem Lang. At the same time, you encounter River of the Amethyst Academy, who is there making dealings with the Hooded Lanterns for another source of healing implements and other various magical needs. And she decided to pull you away as this discussion was going on, more concerned about Tim's arrangement with her, after which you all had a bit of a realization that Tim may not have been as forthright with his arrangements with the Academy. But nonetheless, everything was spread out cleanly upon the table for everyone to see. You presented the research that you had found, Tim, to River for a means of entering the haze without immediately succumbing to its negative effects of contamination, as well as another unknown potion referred to as Aqua Delirium, as well as some contaminated spells that you had found among these items that use delirium itself as a catalyst for powerful arcane feats. After which you present the main alchemical reagent to River, the remains of the Eldritch Lilies that you all had found in the Queen's Park Garden. A good chunk of them have wilted and died outside the haze, the life-sustaining arcane fog, the deep haze, sustaining these lilies and giving them their arcane properties. But a few of them survived, and River was able to cast a ritual spell to sustain these for a longer period of time, as she took said lilies as well as made a copy of the research to make sure that the Academy might be able to better reproduce this discovery of Oscar Yoren, or at least some of his early examples. At the same time, River presented you all with a number of items as payment for this information, understanding that it is extremely valuable, being able to circumvent the dangers of the haze and the contamination. Thank you, Alexa. I did not need to know that. Yeah, anyway. Moving on. We'll cut that in post. River gave you a number of items. One which was a Pearl of Power, another a Bag of Holding, and I believe a Ring of Protection. At the same time as this discussion was ending, another conversation began as Elias Drexel, Lord Commander of the Hooded Lanterns, as well as individual you had not met up until now, accompanied by an individual you had recently helped rescue from a pack of hunting gnolls, one Cassandra Wyatt, a paladin of the Silver Order, a military branch of the Church of the Sacred Flame. This entourage of Griffin Riders, high-ranking paladins, had come to discuss a tactical joint mission to exterminate the gnolls that had become the apex predator of most of Drakenheim, specifically the spiritual heart of Drakenheim at the Cathedral of St. Vitruvio. They discussed with you all a plan to uproot these individuals, especially their leader, the large white gnoll known as the Lord of the Feast. The plan was to have the Hooded Lanterns assault from the north while the main body of the paladins assaulted Temple Gate, the entrance to the city controlled by this warring band of gnolls. But they needed one more tactical place, a location that could circumvent the haze by going not through it by magical means, but above it physically, the astrological clock tower. With this final point in this three-pronged assault, the force would be able to uproot the main enemy, countering the ability of the Hooded Lanterns and the paladins from making a final assault on the chapel of St. Vitruvio. Unfortunately, they could not spare the manpower, so they asked your group to be the ones to reclaim the tower. You all are aware that this particular tower is occupied currently by a large group of harpies and potentially a more dangerous creature that leads them. Before which you all discussed with the blacksmith that was there from Emberwood Village, one Tobias Crow, and you commissioned a number of improved weapons and armor, providing the leftover meteorite metal that you had pulled from the Rat's Nest Tavern and the burrows you had found, having collected that crystal of delirium previously, now coming into its own as a main component for some more powerful implements. While these were being fashioned and commissioned by Tobias Crow, you all took the small amount of downtime, as this assault is expected to happen in 1 week's time, assuming that you all can recapture the clock tower. But in the meantime, while the weapons and armor were being fashioned, you decided to head back to Buckledown Row to tie up another loose end with one Christian Lament. On arriving back with more information, you are addressed with cold, callous, less than gracious greetings, as he does not recognize you at all and swiftly dismisses you all, despite your previous dealings. At this time, you believed that perhaps someone may have been impersonating this Christian Lament for whatever reason, but without certainty, you discuss a proposition with him to return in 2 weeks' time after the assault on Temple Gate to compete in a more dangerous gladiatorial event in the Queen of Thieves' private fighting rings, being sponsored by one of her lieutenants, the one Christian Lament. He also presents you with a sigil-marked diamond to be returned in 2 weeks' time as proof that he is who he says he is, being able to magically summon it so long as someone isn't holding it, as he discussed with you. At which time you all returned back to the barracks to retrieve your commissions from Tobias Crow. Some of you gaining new powerful armors, others gaining improved weapons, and one rather odd, terrifying mace that Tobias Crow had from a prior dealing that was a pawned item that was never collected upon, is now in your possession. With these new hardened weapons and armors and the understanding of your mission, you head out towards Market Square and the Cosmological Clock Tower. Just as you're leaving, though, Georgio, you are pulled aside by Elias Drexel, the Lord Commander of the Hooded Lanterns.
Yep.
And he has you kind of wait behind the rest of the group and looks to you. Now, Georgio, I apologize that we haven't been able to speak much. It's a shame that as your former teacher, I haven't been able to speak with you in less formal settings. If you return here and complete your mission, I'd like to have a more pertinent conversation with you.
Yeah, I think there's a lot that I don't know about that I'd like to know about. So I think that would be really nice.
There's a lot to catch up on in the time that we haven't seen one another. We've grown up quite a lot, and there's something important I'd like to discuss with you in the near future, but we do not have the luxury of time.
No, unfortunately, I think you're right about that.
Agreed. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. I think we got this, though. I'm excited.
He sends you away and orders the, at least for the near future, to have you escorted by a group of urban rangers from the rooftops, at least as far as they can, into the areas that they have secured. So you won't have to, mechanically, you guys won't have to roll for any random encounters, but one time. But one time, once you reach the opposite end of the market square. So I'll go ahead and pull up the map for you all.
Must that be the encounter that kills us? Like, party wipe on that. Just like, oh, we just had one of them.
Well, I'll pull this up real quick so you guys can see. Familiar map here. Let me pull that up. Can you guys see the map?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me go ahead and move this around. Right now, you all are, having come from number 9 here at the Hooded Lanterns Barracks, you are in the northwestern corner here of Market Square, the western side of the open square. In the center here, you see, surrounded by much larger, more commercial buildings. These would have been the primary guild halls that you recall, Georgio. You notice all around these squares there are...
March 15?
Yeah, Mark 15. And a few buildings around the perimeter of the open square.
Mm-hmm.
There is little or no cover in the open areas of this square. Especially not for larger individuals such as Cedric and Georgio. And to some degree, Chugrulk as well. You are rather large on the taller end of medium size. Around this square, you see the shattered remains of merchant carts and shops, This had been in its heyday the primary center of commerce for the city, of trade from all over the continent, from Illyria, from the various surrounding city-states of Geltstadt, and the various other regions of Caspia and Lumen, all centering in this segment of the nation of Westamar, this being the beating heart of the city. It also had large stages in a couple areas, this being a primary location for open displays of the arts that the former Queen of Draconheim had beloved for many, many years, forgoing any type of stately affairs and tending to focus more on the arts and culture of the city, as that is what they preferred and were primarily better at than their stately duties. The haze here is not as dense as what you saw in Queen's Park Garden, but it is present at this time. You are in the haze, so as long as you stay in the haze, you would not be able to benefit from a long rest. You can take a short rest, but you don't benefit from the recuperative properties of a long rest while here. But at this distance, you can just see the outer outline on the opposite end of the square on the far eastern side. Building that is one of the prominent features and highlines of the city, the astrological clock tower. At this distance, it's hard to make out details, but what you do make out is that this structure spires high enough to even get above the haze itself, making it a very strategic point for anyone trying to set up a location to move within the inner city, as it allows for a small group to rest at any given time if they were to rest above the haze in the segments of the clock tower. As you now enter the square, I would ask you all, how would you like to proceed towards your objective?
As far as like how we're moving through everything?
Yeah.
What you mean?
I mean, you could march straight towards it. You could try to sneak around. You could use other arcane means to hide yourself. You can do whatever you feel is best. I just need to know what you guys intend to do, because that will affect any upcoming possibilities.
I guess gonna say that, like, I guess Giorgio did mention it before. I don't want to like get rolled if we do this wrong, so I'm all for trying to like play it kind of safe now. I don't know like how we best do that, but yeah, like I'll just throw that in there.
Yeah, it kind of sucks moving through the haze and stuff so far.
Yep.
It's this isn't the deep haze, so you wouldn't be making saving throws, but you just don't benefit from a long rest until you leave it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I don't think we need to like rush through by any stretch, but
I think maybe we go for like some. I mean, I can't stealth or anything because I've got like my adamantine plate.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So like, is there any like I guess not to take the words out of Stopper's mouth, but do we have any arcane means of helping ourselves here?
Cedric does, right? You have
I have detect magic.
Right.
Yeah, I can go ahead and do pass without a trace and detect magic and stuff like that.
Detect magic is definitely, I think, wise to do as we get close, just because they may have something that would alert them from where we're at. Pass without trace would be really nice. But I also don't know, like, are those cantrips for you? Because like burning spell slots also would be bad, because I doubt we would have much time to rest at all.
Yeah, that's the one negative. Those are not cantrips.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we just take the, I guess, air quotes the long way, but so that we're not just like exposed walking across the, an open field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my concern. I was going to say, like, I guess
Yeah.
from what I'm looking at, it's massively open, and as you
Yeah.
said, we're not exactly, indistinguishable.
Yeah.
I don't think we have that much time to really make a decision here, so.
Yeah, I think, yeah, maybe we just kind of go as, like, as you said, not using anything, but just going as,
a
as,
slowish
I guess-
pace, skirt the edge.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go, Stopper. Moderately slow. Stay out of.
So go ahead and
being
on the
completely
map,
open.
go ahead and show me what path you all intend to take through this area, just to be a little more
I'll let you
specific.
guys choose that. I'm just going to check on my cat real quick. She's making weird meows. One sec.
Yeah, dude. Man.
Can you ping exactly where we're starting and exactly where we're ending?
Right, right. So right now, you all are in this northeastern corner.
Okay.
Your destination is number 12
Yeah.
on the opposite end of the market square on the eastern end. You can see it with clear eyes at this point, even through the fog that kind of settles around here, the haze. It's without question one of the tallest buildings in the city, only surpassed by the inscrutable tower and the castle Draken itself.
So what I'm thinking, where's this? Can you guys see this?
Yep.
This is what I'm thinking off the top of my head. Is if we come across and then kind of go through this a little bit, that way we can see, like, we can get a better look at the tower from some sort of cover that's in the middle of this.
Right.
And then come across, because if they see us coming, if they see us on this part, if we go in here, it becomes ambiguous on where we'll come out, and so they would have to check either end if they're watching us and are planning an ambush, right? We also might end up getting in a fight in the middle of this thing, but I think that that's better if we get caught here instead of here, because if we're open, they could send in some aerial support or something like that, like or some long range
Just
stuff, like
some sort of cover.
while we're engaged at the corner, like they can just start launching stuff at us, right? If they don't care about their guys, like they can just throw a big bomb, whatever, who knows, right? But like here, like
Sure.
where we are, exactly where we're engaging the enemy, if they catch us in the middle of this. Plus there's a lot of stuff around, so it's not just a big open area. I think we could use that to, as makeshift cover here and there. So I think if we come in, just hug the edge of this, and then come in here and just kind of meander through, and then go across, and then come
Sounds good.
out here.
I think you're not wrong.
That's-
Like, it's a big tower. Like, they've got like almost guaranteed like eyes on where we're, So
Yeah.
I agree.
Gives it just to gain a little bit of ambiguity instead of just cutting straight across.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Does that sound too dangerous to anybody?
No, I think you're
I
great.
think it sounds on the money.
Is that clear enough for you, Stopper?
No, that makes sense. You're going to head along the north side of the western portion of the market square,
Yes.
hugging close to the walls themselves. As you move along this area, go ahead and give me a group stealth check.
Is everybody's rolling?
Are we just to ask, are we rolling it as just a regular 20, or if we had disadvantage? For
I
because
think
I think
if
we're
you're
all-
wearing
we're all
heavy
at
armor.
disadvantage. We're all at disadvantage.
Yeah,
here.
we're all.
okay.
So
So
again,
that
like,
Actually come through. Wow.
kind of a Scott
okay.
question, but do I have to remind myself about the D&D stuff? It's a D20 rolled twice as disadvantage, and you take the worst,
Pick
correct?
the lowest.
Yes.
Correct.
Disadvantage. I got a 7 and an 18, so 7 for me. Sorry, fellas.
I got
The
an
shiny.
18. Yeah, I got a 12 and a 14
Okay.
before. I had +6.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy,
Yeah, I got
dude.
I got a +5, but I copped a 17 and a 6. So
Yeah.
Oh, rip.
So you'd be
Yeah.
at an 11.
yeah.
So
17
we
to 6.
have a
you-
7, 11, a 14, and an 18.
Yep.
Okay. As you move along the northern portion of the market square, hugging closely in this location, you don't immediately sense anything having eyes on you, and you're able to move despite your heavy implements and armors. You're able to move with a bit of caution, but you are able to move, as far as you can tell, unseen through this portion of the market square, hugging along this northern edge. At this point, you are able to dart across to the central guild halls in the center of the city. As far as you know, unseen, as nothing has outright approached or made any sign of seeing your presence in this area. Now closer to these buildings, you are surrounded by large 3-story guild halls. Giorgio, you would remember these buildings as being very prominent and very busy during the heyday of the city prior to the fall of the meteor. They were major commercial and commerce centers for not only the city of Drakenheim, but for the country of Westamar as a whole. For all the major cities, the nobility would meet here to discuss major financial projects, obtain loans, and distribute goods and make contracts for months or weeks, months, and even years at a time to better their stakes within the country as well as the country as a whole. And this region, these guild halls, were oftentimes known as the non-formal nobility, if you will, as they at certain times would hold as much power or more than even some of the major houses of the country. So you can see here that this region is, from what you can see, relatively untouched. It is not in good condition, as the buildings have become waterlogged and in disrepair, but they don't have the outward signs of looting like some of the surrounding locations did. We lose the camera?
I'm good. No,
You're good.
I'm still here though. Yeah,
okay.
don't worry. I'll fix it in a second.
No problem. But they don't show any outward signs, as if perhaps this location hasn't been adulterated as much as the rest of the surrounding portions of the city that are a bit more accessible to thieves and looters and criminals, as well as various adventuring parties looking to make a quick buck. As you walk through this area, who's leading the charge?
I
think
don't mind being in front.
Yeah, I mean, it would either be Giorgio or Chugrulk, I think. Yeah.
I think
I don't
it's
mind being
generally
in
going
front.
to be like, this is just my input. I think generally I'll stick just behind you, if that's
Sure.
okay, Giorgio, because
Fine
I have
with
the
me.
I've got long reach.
Yeah, fine with me.
Giorgio, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay, perception is going to be a 2, not a 1, plus 5, so a 7. As alert as I'd like to be, I must not be taking it too seriously today.
As you walk through, it's a bit disorienting as
Mhm.
you hear low grumbles in this area. But the echo of the buildings surrounding you makes it difficult to pin down what direction
Mhm.
these sounds are coming from. What
Is
do
it
you
loud
do?
enough that everyone hears?
You would hear
Or
it first.
Is there something that I'm hearing? Okay.
You would hear it being
I'll
at
just
the...
say. That's what I'll just say is, hey, look, I can hear something, but I can't tell where it's coming from, so I know that we're not alone. But I think we should just keep moving.
I agree.
Hey, I'm right there with you, man. I'm on you. Let's go.
Go ahead, everyone.
My question for you,
I'm
my
sorry.
question for
Go
you,
ahead.
Stopper, is as we move, if we move, as we move, I want to see if I can, if like the noise gets louder or quieter, or if it, if as we move, if that helps me figure out where it's from. If I need to roll perception again in a minute, I will.
Okay.
But I would like to.
What was your total roll previously?
7. I rolled a 7.
7.
Yeah, 2
Okay.
plus 5. I got a plus 5 on perception.
Roll
so-
one more perception check. This one's going to be a bit more difficult, though.
Okay. This one's going to be a 13.
13.
13 total.
It's
13 total.
still difficult to tell the echoing from the various walls of these
Makes it too
three-story guild halls is making it difficult. What you do see, just out of the corner of your eye, through one of the unbroken windows in this
That was my next
location,
question.
you see a bit of movement. Just this meandering, slumped movement. And you're able to focus a little bit on this one location as you hear again. What do
Is
you all
this
do?
is this in the direction we're moving? Where is are we moving away from this building? Are we moving towards this, or are we like
As
in
you're mo-
between this one?
As you're moving
What's-
south through the initial alleyways, or the tight space between one of these larger two buildings.
So we're doing this right here.
Right as you're passing through the outset side,
Mhm.
you would see it right here in this center building. As you're going south, it would be your
guy.
left-hand side across the little central courtyard that you now stand in.
Like this guy right here.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
You would see just the shadow of a meandering figure slumping
Okay.
through one of what would have been some sort of office or parlor or meeting hall in one of these adjacent buildings. It doesn't seem to have noticed you, but you get the impression that if you made too much noise, it could easily see you from where you are now.
Can we take cover where we are, in a position where that from that window they wouldn't be able to see us? Is there enough?
You
okay.
could change your direction and potentially avoid its gaze. Is that what?
Because I want to pause for a second and have a conversation.
Sure.
In a place where at least that vantage point won't see us.
Right. So from
with the
that
assumption-
location, you're able to duck behind one of these other buildings that's along
Okay.
this north side and get just barely enough room to get all four of you out of sight of that window.
Okay. So I'll explain that I did see something. I don't know what, but something in there, but it didn't seem like it was on guard, like looking for us, which is strange. Because I would imagine if there's anyone here, in character, this is what I'm explaining. If there's anyone here, I would think that they would have this place filled up, to stake out anybody traveling through this,
Right.
to ambush people who thought it would be safe here, right? Like that's kind of what I would expect. So I've seen somebody that wasn't looking for us. I don't know if it's a sentient creature, if this is somebody that's a part of the group that's here to defend this clock tower. But I'm a little bit caught off guard, and so I'm not sure how to best proceed from here. Because if that may be the only living creature here, but odds are if there's something here, there's going to be more things that may be hostile, maybe not, but not looking for us, which is just, again, that's got me a little bit perplexed. So I don't know if we want to just ignore it and keep going.
So
If we're quiet
Georgio,
enough.
Well, on that,
Yeah.
I was going to ask. So, being that you've been leading the charge so far, would you, and this probably goes to you and Stopper, but would you be saying that there's like any areas of darkness or people hiding in dark like crevices or anything like that? Only because I do have dark vision. So, if you want me to continue the charge to maybe see more, I don't know.
wouldn't. That's a question for you then, Stopper. Yeah.
From where you all are now and where you were when you pointed out the noise, Giorgio,
Uh-huh.
it's not so much that you don't get the idea that something's trying to hide.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in a location that isn't directly in view. It's inside
okay.
that structure on the first floor through one of the windows. You just
So that's,
barely-
I guess, where I was going to say, would that make like my, seeing things that are in dim light, in redder light be any?
Well, at this
I guess-
distance, it wouldn't really matter. Your dark vision
Right.
is only up to 60 feet.
60 feet, yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Right.
so
So
you're
if it-
far beyond that at this point.
If it was
Yeah.
dark in there and you like went up to the window and peeked in,
That's
maybe
kind of
that
what
would
I was-
help.
yeah.
But I think that's too. I think that's too
Dangerous.
risky. It's just because if it's something that's not actively looking for us and hostile for us, then I just don't want it to ever know we were here. We just walk away, right?
We just walk past, yeah.
Yeah.
But now that it's just like this is just not what I expect. I either expected this to be completely empty or completely full, right? And it's neither of those. Like completely full, not just completely full, but full of things looking for us, ready to ambush any part, not us specifically, but any party coming through here. So it's just, I just, as far as how to proceed and how to keep going, I don't know if we should just ignore this, if we should be on the lookout for other things, being extra stealthy. If it maybe now we do need to use passive electricity. I just don't know. I'm not really sure.
As you're
This one's throwing Giorgio off.
As you're saying that, Giorgio,
Mhm.
directly across from where you all are standing between these two buildings, out of line of sight of the figure that you're aware of, you see another figure begin to slump over a nearby. There's a kind of a knee wall or a 4-foot pony wall. If you've
Uh-huh.
ever seen like a
Yeah.
retaining wall outside of a stone fence almost,
Mhm.
outside of one of these guild halls, directly across this miniature courtyard, and you see this body almost just fall over this 4-foot wall,
Does it?
or just lazily climb and fall over this 4-foot wall. And even at this distance, you can see this figure, this humanoid figure, as it does have 2 arms and 2 legs. To call it humanoid would be a loose statement,
Uh-huh. Okay.
as it has 2 arms and 2 legs, but one of the arms is divided between 2 writhing tentacles.
Okay.
The
Ew.
other
Not cool.
arm has scaly, almost pustule-like rash all the way across it, from shoulder all the way down to the wrist. And the legs, you can see, have all but shriveled up to these husks, and it is dragging itself into the center of the courtyard. It doesn't seem to be coming directly towards you, but it just seems to be heading out into the open courtyard. And you see at this distance now, as you're honing in on this new creature, its face is just one giant pustule.
Ew.
Its eyes completely swallowed up in this grotesque boil that is now the outward visage of this former either citizenry or individual. It is a monstrous creature that deserves pity at the very most, but has all but succumbed to the contamination of the city.
Mhm.
As it...
And
Go ahead.
sorry to interrupt, but where we're at right now is not the air is the it's not contaminated enough that it would do this to someone here.
No, not
Whatever happened to this
immediately.
person.
Not
I mean, like-
immediately, but this person's been here for some
Okay,
time.
so it is something. It is something that if we were here for years, this would have happened.
Absolutely. And you would have gotten that, and all of you having been in here
That's
long
something
enough
that-
would have gotten that understanding, especially
Okay.
having been to the deep haze, how easily an individual could succumb to contamination and become this unspeakable abomination of some kind.
So I know you one more thing. Just I know you're in the middle of describing something here, but like, would it be? It's not out of the question. Like to see this immediately for Giorgio to think, oh, this dude's just been here for 10 years.
That would be your immediate understanding. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, great, fantastic.
That
He
this
doesn't look
just
familiar
seems
at
to
all, does he?
be some surviving husk of a human that's succumbed to contamination.
Yeah.
You don't
Okay, sorry,
get the
yeah, yeah.
idea that this is an overly intelligent creature, not unlike the ones that you saw being experimented on in Oscar Yorn's laboratory. It's just another variation of such a creature, as the contamination affects everything and everyone differently.
Okay. Sorry for interrupting you.
Oh, no, you're fine.
But okay, so now, having seen that, I think we're fine to just keep going as we were. I assumed incorrectly that this whole place had been evacuated, but obviously there are some remnants of people or creatures that did not get evacuated that have mutated into this strange thing. I don't want to alert any of them. I wouldn't want to have to engage with some hostile mutants here, but I think this place is, anything that we see here is just going to be coincidentally a person that was abandoned, or a thing that was abandoned here and just never got out.
Right. You would remember the day the meteor fell in Drakenheim. As you were escorted out with a number of the individuals from the barracks, members of the nobility in the city, any dignitaries that had any type of armored guard, were the first to escape and leave in the calamity that ensued, and the chaos that followed for the month or two after the immediate fall of the star. You would remember that some of the lesser individuals in the city, the lower ranking tiers of society, did not have those luxuries. They did not have a means to escape quickly from the chaos that ensued. No one was prepared, from what you remember, as you were within 48 hours had escaped the walls of the city. But you remember, even in that 48-hour period, you saw in the areas around the crater, specifically in the chaos that ensued, large hordes of individuals were already beginning to succumb to contact with this mineral that would later be known as delirium. And as a child, you instinctively blocked these horrible sights out of your memory, and your mother did so to try to shield you from these things. But now seeing them as an adult, with the understanding of what this can do to a person, having experienced contamination to at least some degree, what it can do to an individual, you see that at any given time, if someone weren't able to escape, if you weren't able to escape, you could easily be this creature crawling on its stomach as this horrible wretch.
Yeah. Naive to
sure,
think
some
that
empathy,
everybody
bro.
made it out. Yeah.
Pardon me? Lily?
Sorry, I was just saying, show some empathy, man. You're from here.
Yeah. So it's naive to think that everybody could have made it out, right?
Right. You're coming to that understanding is what I'm getting at. It's a realization that takes time and experience and blunt force emotional trauma, seeing it in person and having fought the remains of what was once human.
Yeah.
So just to like actually be serious, and sorry I was memeing before, but like so I assume this might actually impact Giorgio right now, and you know so I'm gonna say that maybe you know we might have noticed that this is you know doing something to him, you know seeing people that he maybe one day had like you mentioned this before, Cedric, that you know did you know this person, or you know do you recognize this person? So like yeah, this could be impacting Giorgio quite.
I don't know how clear in character it is that that I like how much time I spent in the city, if I grew up here or not. I can't remember exactly how often it's come up.
I don't think you really discussed it with anyone in the group.
I know I haven't talked about it.
Right.
So I just can't remember how much it's come up in, like, I've just been like, you know, I deliberately haven't talked about it, so I don't know how much it's come up and how clear it would be. But if it's something that you've picked up on, Spudley, then obviously, yeah, you might notice something here. I don't know.
I would say at the time, I don't remember if we discussed this in your Session 0 or backstory, but I would say roughly it would be, given the time frame of the civil war that was to follow this chaos in the country of Westamar, which was essentially almost a decade of civil war that followed this incident. And for the last 5 years, that civil war has been all but settled, and the individual cities outside of Drakenheim have all but returned to governing themselves loosely. But there hasn't been a centralized monarchy for the past 15 years. And you all would understand this.
Yeah.
That Westamar has been without a king or queen or any type of central monarch for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And 10 years after, you know, for, I would say 8 to 9 years preceding this event was nothing but strife and war between the various lesser nobilities and the lesser claimants to the throne, as you would know them, you know, cousins, brothers, sisters, not in the direct line of succession, were vying for the throne. As usually occurs when a vacuum of power is created by an incident where a heir is not apparent.
Mm-hmm.
You, Giorgio, in the time following, in the midst of the height of the Civil War, you would have been in your late teens, possibly, you know, proceeding on your 20s, when your incident in Kesselholm had occurred. And then following that, you would now be, you know, roughly in your mid-20s as it stands today. So basically, you will recall vaguely the chaos in that 48-hour period following the fall of the meteor.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such a traumatic experience that up until now, the impact really hasn't settled in. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Trying to explain it in sort of an emotional trauma type situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm 100% on page with you right now. So that's, cool. If that was for me, then we're good. If that was just to catch everybody else up to speed, then, you know.
Right, but that's kind of what you understand.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at now, seeing this. Yeah, so I'm like, everything's cool. Let's go.
Right. For everyone else, Cedric, you would have had some encounters with individuals experiencing contamination, but less so this level of contamination. You would have seen what delirium can do in a more...
Well, we saw a gross eyeball kid.
Well, you've seen that now, but prior to coming to Drakenheim.
Oh, got it. Okay.
You would have
Oh my
seen...
god, I forgot about gross eyeball kid.
You would have seen more of what it does to people on a level of emotion and greed and hatred and this combative force, what it does to people on a societal level from your experiences, that some people try to covet it as a precious mineral, almost like diamonds or gold, for its properties. And then you've seen the opposing force of that from the church, who view it as a blight on the world, like a cancer that needs to be exorcised, and what they'll go to, what the lengths they'll go to do so, especially in close proximity to the capital city of Lumen, where the church holds majority power. Even though the edicts of Lumen dictate that clergy cannot hold seats of power in government, most people recognize that the Lord Regent of Lumen, the prominent political figure, may not be the de facto ruler of the city. That is, in fact, the matriarch of the Church of the Sacred Flame, who is more the de facto ruler of Lumen. They are more viewed as a figurehead, if you will, than a true monarch of the city.
Sure.
What you would know, Chugrulk, that Caspia is ruled by a conglomerate of houses that every 10 years come together in an event called the King's Moot. This event is, and some of you may know this as well if you're proficient in history of the continent, that the King's Moot occurs every 10 years and the various houses vie for control, and it is basically it occurs in the King's Moot in an event called a Gasconade, which, for anyone who's ever witnessed it and has not witnessed and didn't grow up in Caspian culture, would know that it is quite a... It is an exercise in boasting to its very much extreme. It is not about who may have killed the greatest creature. It's who killed the greatest creature and tells the greatest story about it. Yeah, and with that, you would remember the same things.
Everything.
Sorry.
I'd say you probably know more than I do, man. I'm only a
Almost
Bugbear
fucking
fighter.
nat 20. That shit would have been crazy.
Sorry,
I was about to say.
a little bit of lore dump for you guys. I'm just
No,
trying to
no,
explain it on everyone's sort of level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just fantastic.
That way you kind of
No,
get
that
a
was
different
great.
perspective from the three major political perspectives of the continent that all view this situation differently from a different perspective, and therefore have different motives in regards to how to deal with it.
So, sorry, just to, I guess, clarify, because that was a bit of an information. Like, so is there at this stage in this, in this city, is there any kind of a, like, rulership, or is it just complete chaos? Like, I might have just completely forgotten, but...
There is no formal ruler
Yeah.
in Drakenheim right now. There is no monarchy. There's a void of
Yeah.
power.
But there is some kind of a power, like, there is something.
In the individual cities, yes.
Okay.
The various surrounding cities on the world map, Gelstadt, Dransmund, some of the surrounding cities in the country of Westamar all have various nobility that run these. The city of Kesselholm all have various lesser nobility that rule those cities, and at this time probably have the highest seats of power without the centralized monarchy in Drakenheim. The only real source of law and power, if you could barely call it that, in the city of Drakenheim would be the Hooded Lanterns.
Right,
And
that's
there-
what I was kind of getting at, yeah.
Right, and that's questionable at best.
Okay. Yep, no, that clears it up for me, thank you.
But with that said, as you come to this swift realization, even though that was probably a 20 or 30 minute lore dump,
Hey, that's D&D.
as you all interpret this situation differently, how would you like to proceed? You have potentially at least one individual in one of these surrounding buildings and a corpse-like creature crawling about in the central courtyard. What would you all like to do?
So I'm no longer confused about what is going on. So I'm not concerned about there being any sort of ambush or anything. I do think that we should get moving fast because there may be more of these things wandering about. Probably not in the best of shape, but if one of them is alerted and is aggressive, then we'll have to deal with it, and that will only be more noise and more waiting around, and it could slowly turn into just a bunch of things just showing up to right here. So if we can just keep moving and try not to make too much noise, but I think moving is more important because I don't think these things are going to be particularly fast or particularly aggressive, right? I just think if they were, they wouldn't just be roaming around this place, or they would have dealt with each other already. So if that's cool with you guys, let's go. I'm
also just going to throw my 2 cents in that, like, I think that because there are obviously people or creatures and things going on in this little area, I'm less concerned about there being people like constantly watching us because like all of a sudden they see a piece of movement, they're like, oh, what's going on over there? Like they're probably seeing quite a lot of movement regularly due to these things. So yeah, I think that we're a lot safer to continue on. I agree. Great
idea. Great thought. I love that. That makes me a lot less worried. Let's move.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Okay.
Hell.
What path are you taking? Are you going to try to get past this creature, going further south in your intended route, or are you going to change plan and go another way?
So at this point, can we do we have a good look at the clock tower? Can we see that? Is there anything? I mean, we're a lot closer now.
Yes, so. You would peek out at this point. You would have a much more defined look at it. It would be less a shadow in the distance and more of a defined feature. You wouldn't be able to make out like fine details of the clock tower, but you would be able to see it at least at this distance. I'll go ahead and pull up a scenic view for you all.
Cool.
Yeah. At this point, from where you are, you can see the outermost reaches of the cosmological or the astrological, clock tower of Drakenheim. I will read you all a little passage.
Cool.
At the center of the square is the clock tower. The 300-foot-tall square tower is about 50 feet wide at the base, with round turret corners and walls supported by great buttresses. The front facade is a mechanical wonder. Near the top of the tower is a massive 30-foot wide clock face made with glass. The numerals in the hands filigreed with silver, brass, and gold. Above are several crenulated balconies, and the roof is a steep spire topped with a wrought iron weather vane. Bordering the center clock is an embossed metal and glass dial that depicts the transit of the sun and the phases of the moon through each month. From the dial, one can read on not only the time, but its date, as it shows a stylized interpretation of the seasons and constellations. Extending down the clock face is a further system of circular glass plates, gears, and wheels that illustrate in mechanical precision the grand cosmic dance of the planets and the stars as they hurtle through the astral void. Multicolored glass lenses superimposed over the planet depict the metaphysical orbit and the afterworlds and side realms and their relation to the mortal world. The rest of the tower is decorated with the elegant carved statues depicting angels, saints, demons, devils, elementals, and the various creatures of the worlds beyond. On some levels are rows of Gothic windows with trifold arches filled with stained glass mosaics. The entire mechanism is frozen, stuck on the 11th day of the 11th month. 111 years ago, at 11:11 a.m., the phases of the planets resting between the elemental chaos and dreamland.
That is very spooky. I'm not gonna lie.
Does anybody know if there's any
So I was gonna ask
significance to
Shiny
that?
with your history knowledge.
give me.
Yeah.
If anyone would like
You
to
know
roll
what?
history, if they want to know any more about it.
Sure, I'll give it a.
I'm
I'll
not
give it a
proficient.
shot. Now that we need it. Now that we need it.
Yeah, especially since you've been.
Now
to
we
this
need
tower.
it.
Damn it,
Ooh,
Shiny.
a nice 10.
It's with advantage, right? Because he knows this tower.
No, he knows the other
Shiny.
tower, not the clock tower.
Would anyone
Not
else
the
like
clock
to
tower,
when it
roll?
was conceived.
Let's
Or is
see.
it...
Let's see if it was the tower, the other tower. We're good, you know.
With
My
its...
my guy's dumb as can be, so.
I'm not
I'm
proficient in
not
history.
gonna-
Yeah, me too.
I wouldn't say you need to be proficient in this one, especially you, Giorgio. I'd let
Okay.
you roll for it. You don't need to be proficient in it.
Go.
Well, I
go.
rolled a nat 1, so I'm switching dice. just so you
Your
guys know.
Drakenheim history
Yeah.
was not very good. you skipped that. didn't
What a
you?
dummy.
All
Did
you,
you
rem-
like go la la la, not listening
Yeah.
all the time?
Basically.
with a 10, all you
Is it-
remember is that even before the meteor fell, this clock tower was already in disrepair and non-functional. That it was stuck in this position for as long as anyone in the city alive would remember.
I love that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of not even mad that we don't get to know because like,
Yeah.
dang, that's
cool,
like
yeah, that's cool.
111 years ago.
All these ones. Okay, so looking at the clock tower, we don't see, because I know that we saw the first time I think it was when we were fighting the harpies, we saw that creature out there kind of watching our battle, right?
You saw the silhouette of a much more daunting, terrifying, harpy-like creature,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
far more robust and
Wait, I just have one last question.
menacing
on the
than
clock tower
the ones that you
Yeah.
killed.
one that
Yes.
this could be something, but it could be nothing. So it happened 111 years ago, which is not coincidental. Do we know what the date is today? Because I don't want to be walking near this thing if it's the 11th of the 11th and it's about to be 11 a.m. or some bullshit, and we're there 111 years later. You know, like
No, it's
That's a good thought.
just, yeah.
I don't remember the exact date, but it's not 111 years. I can tell you
It's-
that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's yeah.
I was like, that's all I was
I don't
thinking.
remember
I was
the
like,
exact
man,
date, but I can, if I give me a minute while you guys discuss what you're going to do next as far as moving to your destination, I
you're-
can find it for you.
If that
I was
thing's-
just about to
if
say
that-
like, this thing's about to blow up or some
Yeah.
shit.
So if that thing's not there watching us, then it's probably like inside of it or at the base of it or something like that. So, but I that's the one thing I wanted to get I was hoping that we would be able to get closer to see with some cover, if it was sitting there if it was on the lookout, like it was that day. I'm assuming
Give me
it
a
has
perception
eagle eyes.
check. See if you see anything.
So I rolled an 18. What's my bonus on perception? I think 5. Perception's a +5, so it's a 23. Switching
20
dice was the good move.
With a 23, you don't see any creature eyeing you, and you're fairly certain at this distance nothing is trying to find or see anything at the major openings that are higher at the tower. With that roll, you wouldn't see any creature that's on a lookout.
Okay, cool.
You do see with that 23 though, there is movement in the higher parapet and buttresses of the tower, the openings, up towards the belfries,
Okay.
where the mechanical sound would come from. You know, basically the hanging bells of the tower. You do sense that there's movement there.
Okay.
But even at this distance, even with a 23, all you would be able to sense is there is something or some things moving in this belfry, but it's even impossible at this distance.
Okay, cool. So there's nothing there. We've got this drunk ass mutant guy that's collapsed on this wall up ahead of us. So I think there's this other thing that's in the other building. I think that we should just keep moving. And even if we see a little bit of movement here or hear some noises or anything like that, just keep moving and get across to
La, 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 I don't hear
the
anything.
other side. Right? Yeah, just just book it. Basically, I don't want to go into like a sprint or anything. We're gonna be making a bunch of noise because we are all noisy. But keep at a normal pace, and just pop out on the bottom side, and then from there, like how far is it from the clock tower? If you pop out at the bottom right corner of the set of buildings that's in the middle.
How far is it to the clock tower? You should be able to measure it. It should be scaled properly.
Okay, we're not on the map anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me pull it back up.
Fine. Yeah, you're fine.
And
Ruler. And so if we pop out like right here at this last building, here to the clock tower, so it's 1,000 feet. So a little less than a quarter mile. That is still kind of far. Is that is properly scaled?
yeah.
No, sorry, I
Okay.
was just like checking the actual width of the tower. So even my dark vision isn't really going to help us in the tower. It's being like a big
I
tower.
mean, when any room we're in, I mean,
It's not going to hurt,
it'll-
but it's
yeah.
I was hoping the tower was less wide.
Oh yeah. So yeah, so let's just, I mean, where we're at, I don't think I need to avoid that creature. I mean, I don't want to walk right next to it, but as far as like, because it's slumped over on that wall, right? Like it's not.
It doesn't
It's not-
notice you yet, but
But it's not like it is. It's like slumped over on the wall. You said it's like.
it just fell
just
over the
need to let
wall,
it soak.
slumped over, and
Yeah.
it's crawling towards the center of the courtyard.
Okay.
At this point, it'd
Um,
probably be about 15, 20 foot into the open
Okay,
courtyard.
so it is okay. So it is still moving. I thought whenever you said it slumped, I thought it just kind of like collapsed on the wall. and
Yeah,
was,
at
like,
this distance, you
nearing
can
death.
see with your passive perception, it doesn't seem to be moving with purpose. It seems to
Yeah.
be acting instinctually.
Okay. Then I don't want to go near it. So can we skip out basically around these buildings and around it?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a group stealth check.
Okay, so it's a 15.
Exactly the
and
same. 6 plus 5, 11.
And then a 19. Hell yeah, I'm rolling good.
Okay.
So my lower one is a 15 and 2, so a 17 for me.
Okay.
Let's see.
Mine is a 7.
Okay.
9.
What you rolled an 11, Dudley?
I'm 11, yep. Oh, sorry,
That-
my 11 was with the bonuses, so yeah, I rolled a 6.
Yeah.
Right.
You rolled, but your score is
your
an 11.
score is an 11.
Yeah.
With
And we
that,
get by without issue.
24. So average
I
11,
know.
yeah?
yeah, with the average, yeah, it'd be an average of an 11.
Nice. That's better than the 50.
You go slowly. Even with your clanking armor, you use the taller buildings and obstructed view. At one point, you almost begin to notice that this creature is hearing something. It's. But as you move further away and use the obstruction of the building, and that same sort of echo that obstructed your perception earlier is seemed to be doing the same thing to this creature. As you're able to move unseen past it. As you're moving further south along the western edge of these buildings.
Yeah. And then when we get to the corner here, we'll just come over to here. And then I would say
Right.
pause when we get to the very edge of this last building that we can kind of use as cover. I'm
Sure.
assuming angle-wise, if it's not, as long as this is not short right here, that we can kind of hang out behind this edge and be unseen.
Right. These are 2- and 3-story buildings, so
Yeah. Okay.
even if they were looking at from the very top, they wouldn't be able to see based on the angle if you were at the first level.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. So let's keep moving there unless something interrupts us.
At this point, you are on the outer edge of the center of southern side, the southern center, we'll say, South Central, Market Square, looking much more clearly now at the clock tower, beginning to see the clock face, the mechanical glass structure suspended between the elemental planes chaos and dreamland, or as some may call it, limbo. You remember at this point, Tim, that this depiction of the planetary spheres, the various planes of existence, having been a study that you were heavily fascinated by, that this is one of several different depictions of the relationship that the various planes have with the mortal plane that you all know as home. That it is surrounded, sandwiched in between what is known as the Fae and the Shadowfell. And there's various surrounding planes, like the various numbers of a clock. This is one of the several interpretations of the various planes of existence that has been widely accepted as the most reasonable, but there are others that are in conflict with it. This is a period in time where there was kind of the way we had a conflict between individuals debating whether or not the Earth was flat, whether it's round, whether or not we lived in a donut. There were various many understandings of the movement of the planes and the wider universe that we all exist in. You all in this universe are in kind of that point in time where there's still hot debate about how the various existences in the world coincide with one another. This is just one of the more prominent ones that's here displayed on this clock face. You have this circular clock-like structure. If you all are familiar with the known clock-like face of the Forgotten Realms, that's essentially this, where you have the mortal realm in the middle, sandwiched by the Feywild and the Shadowfell on either side, and you have the various elemental planes that surround the center of this world. And it kind of coincides with some of the real world interpretations, like the world tree, things like that, where you have the central trunk of the tree surrounded by the various planes as its branches. But at this point, as you briefly admire the architecture, what would you all like to do? You are in the last leg of your destination. You notice in this western square that there are a handful more scattered carts about, perhaps a means of obscuring or obfuscating oneself as you move towards the base of the tower. There are also, you notice on the south side, there's a much larger guild hall here, but there is... Oh my God.
Still here, bitch!
Somebody resubbed.
Sorry.
I forgot that. I did not realize that was still... I need to turn those alerts off.
Oh, look at
That's
that.
great. Have that
Making
cut
me feel
spliced right into the
special
fucking
bit by
video.
bit.
Hell yeah.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Definitely gonna cut that in post. But I appreciate it. Thank you, Spudley and Balsamic. But from here, you can see, even if you wanted to try to duck and weave between the buildings on the south side, doing so would be extremely difficult here, as the main building along this edge is a solid...
Still here, bitch!
Silent hype train smile.
God damn it.
I'm sorry. I'm sad. I'm sorry.
Rocks fall, everybody dies. No. This wall has no means of cover. It is a almost perfectly flat face of this building, making traveling in between it and obscuring oneself a lot more difficult than the previous leading edge of the northern edge of the market.
I was gonna say, with that in mind, like, Georgio, probably me speaking to you, but I know that we are like not quiet, but I think that we're just gonna have to run for it. I mean, we're open, we're gonna be seen regardless, so I don't know if the noise thing is gonna be a massive concern. Like, again, I could be completely wrong, but that's what, I don't know. It looks so open, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that might be the case. He said that there's going to be some carts and stuff that we can kind of duck behind. I don't think that would hurt. I don't think it was. I mean, like, if we just go into a full-on sprint for the last, I mean, it's a quarter mile, right? That's a long way.
Yeah.
That's a long way to sprint. So
Yeah, no, it is also probably gonna like impact our abilities in the fight. You know, I'm not like sure how that works, but yeah, I don't see that being the greatest start. You're right.
It doesn't for like mechanical purposes. Like, we're not going to be fatigued when we get to the fight because we're not burning up extra. You know, like we're like our actions are what we have per round, right? And that lasts as long as it lasts. So a sprint, it wouldn't do anything except for take up extra actions on the turn. Yeah, but it would make a lot of noise. Take up extra actions on the turns that are not being counted because we're not in initiative. So like as far as mechanically goes, that's not a real concern to have. But that's just a long sprint to just like it's a lot of time to just be exposed still. And I don't think that I would want to be, you know, even if we don't get a lot of cover from these broken down carts and things like that, weaving our way through that doesn't make it take that much longer, I don't think. And we're not really on time crunch. So
I thought the carts were on the western side, so I thought that we're going through the eastern side, so I didn't think the carts were
Right. You're on the eastern side. There's more. You could see here that there's more of these destroyed carts and this is more of like a farmer's market.
On the side we're on, they have these.
Yes, on the eastern side.
Yeah, so we do have these. We do have these. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay. We do have these things.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that was my mistake then. I thought they were on the other side. That's my bad.
No, the other side was far more open.
Okay, yeah. No, maybe you're right. Duck and weave.
Okay. For that, if that's your intended method, I would ask for one more group.
And I was gonna ask before that happens, could I cast Pass Without a Trace?
Certainly can.
Okay.
So,
I don't.
you release
Yeah,
the
so
divine
just-
energies of your divine patron, and you all feel this foggy energy begin to surround you as you remain close enough to Cedric to encompass you in this spell. So go ahead and give me a group stealth check, and you can add +10 to that roll for Pass Without Trace.
We'll need it because I've got a 6.
You're kidding. I'm not even gonna roll my other dice because I just rolled in that one on the first one.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. So yours would be a 21. Shiny's yours would be a 19. Georgio would be a 16.
Hold on.
Chugrulk, what's your modifier to the one?
So his is also 16.
Sorry, it is +5, so yeah, 6.
His is also 16, but
16.
Okay.
it's a nat 1 on it.
With that high roll and the spell obscuring you, you are able to move silently through most of the sound of your heavy boot steps and the clanking of your armor is all but obscured by the spell. But as you're passing through Chugrulk,
Oh, fuck.
you misstep and trip against one of the surviving carts.
You had to
and
do a
even-
nat 1.
As you're running, you're within probably 50 or 60 feet of the entrance to the tower at this, or the clock tower at this point. But you
Just
lose
leave me. Just
you
leave.
lose your balance, and as the rest of you are moving forward, you fall outside of the range of Pass Without Trace with a loud crash against the cart, crushing the remains of this broken and dry rotted and weather torn wood.
Can't take me anywhere.
In reaction to that sound, you hear this squawking beginning to echo from the adjacent tower.
No. Oh no.
A
Fine.
chittering cacophony. You don't see any signs of movement. At this range, you can see anything that would come out of this clock tower at any distance. But you hear movement, and you hear it beginning to get louder. What do you all do?
Do we believe it's
Leave.
like overhead, right?
You would hear it coming from the clock tower, from within.
Oh, from the clock tower itself.
Yeah, it's beginning to emanate from the clock tower. You can see at this distance, you're 50, 60 feet away from the main entrance to the clock tower that's at the base. There's a singular pair of double doors at the base of the clock tower. But there are a handful of stained glass windows on all sides, a couple which are damaged to various degrees. Most are intact, but a few are broken out in various places. Not large enough for creatures of your size to squeeze through, but a smaller creature probably made these damaged holes and has used them as a means of entering and exiting at various times. At least on this side that you can see. You can't really see the backside or the... you're on the south side of this tower right now. So you wouldn't be able to see the opposite side from where you are or the true east side of the tower. But from what you can see on the two adjacent sides to you, there's one stained glass pane that has a smaller opening of maybe 2 or 3 feet where several panes were busted out, but the majority of the stained glass window has remained in place, as it is separate pieces of glazing that are fused together with solder, if you've ever seen a stained glass window.
Yeah.
Yeah, the majority of the window has remained intact, but that 2 or 3 foot opening, yeah. It would be difficult for larger creatures like you and Chugrulk and Georgio to get through without doing further damage to it.
Sure.
But you can see at this distance, the doors to the clock tower are ajar. They are not shut. One side seems to be fully closed, while another one is probably open a good foot or two. But you are hearing the ever-increasing squawks of avian-like creatures. What do you all do?
Well, I think I'm obviously going to get up and dust myself off, and I guess get prepared to face the judgment of not just this avian-like creature, but also the rapture from my party that I've disappointed.
So pissed at you.
I am so fucking mad. After almost
You would have
3 months, and
succeeded
this is
had
what
you
do
not
to us.
rolled a nat one. I'll say
Yeah,
right
After
now.
almost 3 months, you do this
With
to
the
us.
with the +5 and the +10, there's basically
Right.
no way to fail that. You have to.
Yeah, that
It's the 1 in 20, and you
Ellie,
sure
fucking
got it.
grow up, please.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
know,
His
I
first
just-
one. He won his first one.
Be an adult.
The DC on that was 13.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Actually,
The DC,
gross.
yeah.
Had you not rolled a nat 1, I would have given it to you. If you had rolled a 2, it would have been fine.
Fuck me.
It's because does anybody have anything but? Because if you roll a 2 with a +1, as long as you have any sort of bonus on stealth, that's a 13. Because you have the 10, your 2, and then the 1 that you have on your bonus. So literally, it's impossible to fail unless you get the nat 1. So
Yeah.
love that for us. Thank you, Spudley.
And that's it. So
man,
therefore, as I said,
fate's a
I've got to
bitch.
get up. I got my long arms ready to go, and I'm ready to fight some avian creatures and make some credibility back to my name.
Yeah. We haven't really done anything with like avian creatures, or did we face like a group of
We fought that
harpies
group of harpies, yeah.
previously?
You fought
Yeah.
4 harpies on your way to Reed Manor
That's
the first
right.
time. It was a
That's
smaller
right.
group.
Well,
I don't want them to be able to set up. So now it's time to. How close do we get? Stopper, did you want to give us
You're like 50, 60
But-
feet from the front door.
Okay, so we got almost there. Okay,
I will say, just for the purposes, yeah, you're about 50 feet.
Then I would say to take this moment, if we all have roughly 60 foot, what is it? Yeah, all of us are 30-foot walking speed, so 60-foot sprint. That takes us 6 seconds to get there. So if the initiative starts right now, we're there before anything else happens. If it doesn't start till we get there, then we got a whole extra turn, basically. So let's run. I'd
All
say
dash.
just
Yeah,
full on
let's go,
sprint.
baby.
Full on
Let's
sprint.
go,
Okay.
dash.
You all reacting to Chugrulk's trip and fall, decide your cover is blown, you had best just get in there and go. You dash towards the door, swinging it open and rushing into the base of the astrological clock tower. Before I reveal the map, I would like you all to roll me a d6, please.
You said a D6?
D6. Just a
Okay.
straight d6. Don't add anything, just
Okay.
a d6.
Stopper, can you check Discord?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
You're good.
Oh.
I copped a 6 on that one and I copped a 1 on the 20.
Oh shit.
I've got a 3, so 3 for me.
Oh, you ruined it. Everyone else got a 6. Brad, what are you doing?
I'm
You're the new
rolling
blame. I'm
3.
throwing on Brad
That's
now.
it.
Would you get Spudley?
Yeah, I got a 6 as well.
Damn.
It's officially not my fault anymore. Now it's on you. Sorry, Brad.
Give me one moment. Okay.
Yeah. So I got a 3. Everybody else got a 6.
Okay. That's really good rolls in this situation.
Mhm.
As you rush and decide to forego stealth at this point, just aiming to get into the tower before anything has time to react. As you dart in, I'll go ahead and reveal, close a few things to make sure I don't crash Discord.
I'm gonna go grab another drink real quick. I'll be back in
Yeah.
10 seconds.
While I set this up, if you guys want to take a quick bio break, now would be the time.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, see you back.
Sounds like
You all have rushed in now through the front doors. Oh, I'm sorry. Is everybody ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Oh,
Yeah.
were you supposed to roll initiative? I didn't do that.
No, not yet.
No, okay.
No. You rush into the base of the clock tower. As you do so, I got one more little passage for you. Oh. Damn it, lost my bookmark.
Yep.
Roughly remember. On. There we go. The tower interior is a dramatic contrast to the elegant outer facade. The walls are exposed brick, and a rickety wooden staircase ascends the interior, supported by a wrought iron scaffold. The decorative exterior windows allow for some light to pass into the tower. Many along the way are shattered and broken. The stone floor is covered in dust, bone, debris, and avian feces. Gears connected by chains stacked of heavy dangling counterweights on pulleys and pendulum mechanisms hang down the northern wall. High above can be seen the bells. So the way this is going to work in this particular space, I've divided it into segments of about 40 to 50 feet as you go up the stairs. So as you go up the stairs, it would take roughly, if you're traveling up for whatever movement, it would take a full action to do so as you're moving up the stairs or basically it would take your full movement and then
Get up.
your
Yeah,
full movement
and
and
an
your
action on top.
and a dash to move up to the next level. If you were to do it in one go,
Okay.
you could do it over multiple turns if you wanted to, for the purposes of if and when combat were to occur. I'm just mechanically telling you that the difference in elevation from level to level, where you get to actual stair landings, is approximately 50 feet.
turn.
So yeah, it would take a full turn and a dash
Mhm.
if you were to do it in one turn to get to the next level. This is a multi-tiered structure. The tower itself, from foundation to the weather vane on top, is 300 feet. So just to put that in perspective for you, so there's about, let's say,
Wow,
there's this level and then 3 more before you would get to the what's determined as or called the belfries, where the bells are at.
And is it just like an open shaft in the center?
Yep.
Or are there like floors?
Every layer looks roughly the same, and it has a staircase and like scaffolding that goes around the exterior, or the perimeter of the interior of this building.
Okay, but it's just straight up. Like we can see all the way up to the very top of the
Yeah,
tower,
if you were
up to the-
standing where you're at now, or looking directly from the center, you look up and you see the belfries. There's
Okay.
nothing in the center. If you were to fall from the belfries, you would most certainly probably die. Because it's about a 200-foot fall.
That's a challenge.
Yeah, each one of the areas around this space is the space itself, the perimeter from wall to wall is about 50 foot. But the actual walking platforms are only about 10 foot wide on the perimeters.
Okay.
And the center is completely open. Like the way that description of the interior, basically, for layman's terms, the exterior is the focus of this clock tower. The interior, totally utilitarian, totally just here for the exterior looks of the clock tower. The interior is entirely function over form. It is
Got it.
unfinished, ugly as shit in here. Like you just
Okay.
see masonry on the inside. They didn't bother to sand the joints down. It just looks like somebody slapped it together. And
Got
it's
Okay.
very much makeshift scaffolding on the interior. Like it's structurally sound, but not
Right, but it's
not made to look good. It's not made for people to come in
Yeah.
here.
a house down to the studs.
Pretty much. As you all rush in, and you notice the interior, the echoing inner chamber of the clock tower, and you look up and see the belfries high above in the center, accompanied by over a dozen shadowy figures at all levels proceeding up towards the belfries.
That's a lot.
Various caws and chittering of avian-like creatures moving about from perch to perch as they ascend the various segments of the clock tower up towards the mechanicals and the belfries, and eventually the rookery, the highest segment of the structure. You look up just as these creatures look down upon you. At this time, I would like you all to roll initiative. But you'll
I
have
had to roll a 1.
But you will have a surprise round, as you did rush in before anything had time to account for what was going on.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
I am having a brain moment. Oh, there's initiative. Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm also trying to find out what my modifier. Oh, there, +2. Yeah, I got a 12 total.
Did mine come through? I can't tell.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
says
see it at 9.
9.
Okay.
So 25 to 20 on initiative. Who
Say
had
again?
anybody between 25 and 20 on initiative?
Shiny.
Shiny? Okay.
Shiny's at 20.
Tim? 15 to 19? 10 to 14?
I'm at 10.
10? Okay.
12.
Oh, you had 12. Okay. And that would leave Cedric.
Yep. 9.
You do all have one surprise round. Let me go ahead and drop the creatures you see upon the board. They're at various elevations. So I'm going to mark, if there is no dot on the creature, I'm going to use colored dots to determine where their elevation are in relation to you all. If they have no dot, they are roughly within a 30-foot elevation change to you all.
Okay.
If they have a green dot, they are above 30 feet above you. If they have a yellow dot, they are greater than 60 feet above you. If they have a red dot, they are greater than 90 feet above you.
My God.
So no dot is in range. Green, yellow, red is successively 30 feet more. Okay.
Right. Just to give you an easy interpretation here.
Mhm.
But
Because there's going to be a lot of these things.
like I said, you saw at least a dozen
Jesus.
just at a quick glance.
Oh, okay. All right.
Very fun.
We should not be here.
Oh no.
You've chosen poorly.
Holy. So, oops, come on. That one, put there, oops, wrong one. This one is green. That one is green. This one is about, whoops, I keep doing that. This one over here is about maybe 10 or 15 feet up, hanging off of a lantern.
Oh.
This one is about 30 feet. There are more above, but you are not currently at the level that they would even be within. I mean, they would be within, well, I'll put them on there just to make it easier. And then once you guys proceed up to some of the higher levels, the stairs are just to your right as you enter. Over here to the right of your character, or well, left on the map, but to your right as you step in the building.
Oh.
We'll go ahead and put the various tokens on, and I will move them as needed.
So, just to ask, I mean, I'm sure once we get into it, you'll clarify it, but essentially, like, depending where we're standing on their stairwell, like, so we're on the bottom level right now. So, like, right now we can see the green ones right now, right? But we can't see the yellow ones because they're on the next floor.
You could see some of them, yes.
Okay.
They're a little
ones are
bit
about
easy.
60 feet away, so we might could see them, but that's about it, right?
Right. It would be dim light in this area, so unless you had dark vision, it would be difficult to impossible to see some of the higher ones. They would
So like basically, I guess I could see quite well in here, but that's probably like I guess not really that useful because it's there's so many of them.
I might be able to do something here. So I'm just looking to see what I got.
That is roughly the ones that you see.
Okay.
Jesus. Okay.
The closest being the one here, about 15 foot off. But as you enter the building, you hear this heinous squawking as the creatures, the ones closest, begin to eye you. You
You're not supposed to be here! Our home!
But you do have one surprise round. So, Tim, you are up first.
Blah blah blah. Okay. Let's see. All right. So what are we doing, guys? Are we gonna be trying to move up the stairs while we're doing all this? Like, I'm just trying to coordinate a plan of attack here with everything going on.
Right.
From where they are, as high as they are, obviously, like, we can't do anything about it. But if we start to go up, then we are in the middle of 13 of these things, right? And it takes us an entire turn to go up. So I would think dispatching the ones that we have reach for, which right now there's one that's on level with us and 3 that are close. If we take care of those, either
You move the. Sorry. No,
Either
go.
one of-
Continue.
either one of two things is going to happen. Either we will be able to clear these guys out and then ascend a level and then clear the next wave out and then ascend a level, or as we fight these, they will start coming down and replace them, right?
That's fair. That's what I was
And so
thinking.
I think that there's no reason to ascend until they stop coming down, at which point we try to ascend with as safely as we can, because they will be assaulting us from above, right? But that's really the only choice we have. I don't think it's just wasted. It's a whole wasted turn just to move up a level, and then that just puts you in range for more because the ones that are down can fly, right? Like, I see no benefit to going up while we are.
I think we're all in agreement on that. Yeah.
Clarify again. You don't have to completely go up in one turn, but if you wanted to make it up in one turn, it's 60 feet. Roughly. Of movement.
But
sorry.
it's like, no. I understand that wasn't confusing. It's just like, what do we gain from going up half of a level, right?
Right. Might as well bring them all down here.
Yeah, like, unless we can't reach the one, like, if we don't have any way to attack the one that's green at the bottom corner, unless we start to go up, then we can. But, like, there's one that we can hit right now, so let's hit that
Yeah,
one.
there's a no dot one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would just say let's hit the ones we can, and then if Stopper says that one's too far, then we plan on starting to ascend a little bit at a time. Or it might be wise to say, hey, look, this whole turn I'm going up, and if that one starts to go at you, I'm halfway up the stairs. You know, something, I don't know, we can figure something out, but you know, we have some to take care of, and I don't think that it helps us to get higher, right? At least not right away.
Not right now, right?
Well, Tim, you are up in your surprise round. What would you like to do?
All right, so let's just let's see. What does this do? All right, yeah. I mean, if we're gonna do it, I'm just trying to think. So let me ask you this, because you said with the ones that are 30 feet away, I can't really see them since I don't have dark vision, right?
It's dim light here. You would be able to make them out, but it would be a disadvantage. These ones that are here, as there is various windows, there is dim light coming in from these windows, but it's not clear right now.
Okay.
You would be able to attack them. You see them, but your any attacks you would make would be at disadvantage on these ones within range. Yeah, and then the one that's below 30 feet, you would be able to attack if you just got closer, and it would not be a disadvantage.
Okay.
But these ones that are further away, above 30 feet of you, are in dim light or darkness.
I mean, I guess I don't know if you guys really care. I mean, I can go for one because I have range. I mean, me, Cedric have range, and then Georgio and Chugrulk, you guys don't really. I mean, I know Georgio, you can throw shit.
I've got 2 very good thrown weapons.
I was gonna say I got a pretty good throwing weapon with a surprise attack. I was hoping to maybe capitalize on.
Okay, all right.
I can throw them, and I can also telekinetically pull them back to my hands. So like if you know,
Okay.
Ooh.
I do have
That's true. I forgot.
I do have ways to continue to fight if I need to.
Okay. All right, then.
I would like to punch them, but I don't have to.
All right. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, then we'll go for the one that's closest. That's down here. This guy over here. So I will
Okay.
move 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah, at this point you would be within a 30-foot range of the creature.
Yeah.
Because it is a little bit higher than you, but not more than 15 feet.
Okay. And then I will go for that guy, and I will cast a good old firebolt.
Okay, go ahead and show me the firebolt.
Yeah, baby.
Holy shit!
Absolutely hits as you aim directly at the creature, and as the fiery energy sends in your hand, it gives you clarity as you fire at this avian creature. Go ahead and roll for damage.
5. Yeah.
The firebolt sails directly into the chest of this harpy as it squeals and squawks at you. Is there anything else you would like to do?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. Next up would be Chugrulk.
Just to clarify, how much was the distance you can move again? I've just completely forgotten.
On your
You
character
got-
sheet
you
at
got
the
30 feet.
yeah,
30,
generally
yeah.
it's 30 feet. Yeah.
Right, yeah, I can find out my thing, but I'm sure it was there.
Yeah, you're 30.
Yeah, so I just wanted to get my character, like, anyway, like, kind of next to that one, like, near us with the green dot, because obviously I'm going to have to be shooting up.
Right.
So I guess if I'm here, would that put me in the 30, or do I have to be right under it?
Yeah, you would be within range distance of it. It's up
So,
on
yeah,
a
okay.
on a perch on top of one of the handrails that's on the next level.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm going to use my Yulkwa, however I pronounce that.
Okay.
With my surprise attack, because the creature hasn't currently taken a turn.
Okay.
So yeah.
Go ahead and roll a ranged attack.
I'm gonna have to remember. Is this a D something? What's the hit? Is it D20?
You roll a d20 and add your modifier that's shown on
Yeah,
your character
yeah.
sheet. Yes.
Right. So that's a 20, not nat 20, but 20 total.
Dirty 20 absolutely hits as you send this spear-like object sailing towards the creature, hitting it squarely in the shoulder. Go ahead and roll for damage. And you would add your Bugbear sneak attack damage as well. That
I'm trying to
additional
remember
die.
which one of these was the D8. There we go. All right. So we got the. So that's a total of 20 for normal, and then the surprise attack damage is 2d6.
20 damage?
Sorry, no, sorry, hang on. Sorry, my cat walked right in front of me. It was no, that was 9. So I got the 3 plus 6,
Okay.
and then 2d6. 2. So I got a 2 and a 6 on my surprise attack extra.
Okay, so 9 plus 8, so solid hit of 17. You
Nice.
send this thing sailing at this unsuspecting creature as it nearly passes through the shoulder, doing a severe amount of damage to this creature. It is bloodied.
Is it still able to be perched, or did or anything?
Let me see here. Go ahead and roll me a d6. On a 1 through 3, it stays on its perch. On a 4, 5, or 6, it falls prone.
I got 5.
A 5, the creature falls forward, sailing down, and takes some additional damage as it falls 30 feet down to the ground from the impact. Taking a severe amount of additional damage as it slams to the stone ground at your feet. You rolled 17, so it is grievously wounded as it falls at your
Damn.
feet.
Now, can I use my action surge and attack this thing again?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go.
Well, you still have your other attack. You have 2 attacks.
Oh, I do too. Sorry, yes, no, you're
You
right.
don't even
I'm
need
just
to
going
use that yet.
Yeah,
Finish
I'm going to
him.
attack this thing.
That's rad.
Finish him. And then you could action surge again and attack 2 more times. It's up to you.
We'll see how this one goes. I only got an 8 plus 7, so I got a 15 for the hit.
Which weapon are you using? Your longsword?
Sorry, I'm using my longsword.
And what did you roll?
That was a... Oh crap, what did I just say?
15, you said.
15.
15, yeah.
15 still hits.
Okay, cool.
So roll for damage.
Roll for damage. It's got 2 different things. Oh, slashing or... I'm confused.
What's Chugrulk?
It's whether or not you're using 2 hands or 1 hand. If you're
Right.
using a shield, you're one-handed. So it would be
Okay, so I'm using one-handed.
right. So it'd be a D8 damage die.
Yeah, cool. So that is 5 plus 6. That's 11 damage.
11 damage. You cut it in half. The blood of the harpy spraying against the stone floor. As you see the
Now,
adjacent birds.
Ah, sister!
Knew this was coming. Oh shit.
It's still your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm not sure exactly how this works, but does it take a whole turn or a whole action for me to pull my spear from the body?
No. At this distance, it came down with it. You could easily pick it back up and
Pick it back up, yeah, because I was going to use...
we could just call that a free interaction action.
But I don't know if I can actually even reach anything, to be honest. I'm starting to...
You only moved like 15 feet. So if you moved 5, 10, you could
move to...
Yes, you could get close enough to that one to make a strike.
Yeah. All right, cool. I am going to do that, and I am going to, lob my absolute beast of a spear again.
So you're going to action surge?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and show me the
Alrighty.
spear.
That's 15 plus 7, so 20.
Absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll for damage as you sling another spear directly at this creature, hitting it squarely in the hip.
Okay, we got a 12 total damage.
12 total damage. It cries out. Roll another d6 for me to see if it remains.
We got a 4.
4. It also falls as you hit its weak point in the hip and sails down to the ground. What was the original damage?
That was 12, I believe.
12.
said 12.
Yep.
Doing some heavy damage here.
Let's go. I got to make up for that. I'm essentially the reason these things are aware of us.
As this thing falls again to the ground, squawking and squealing, breaking one of its wings as it hits the ground at your feet. You're still within 10 feet, so it hit the ground. I mean, it's within range for another strike, and it took, again, not a great amount of damage on its end.
So I do think I am going to...
It is bloodied. You still have one more attack.
Yeah, I'm going to go and I'm going to hit it again with my longsword.
Okay, go for it.
Alrighty. So that one is a 21.
21 hits, absolutely. You come down
Yep.
hard on this creature with absolute
and-
precision.
We do 10 damage on that one.
10 damage. It is still moving and writhing, but it is all but dead. It is bleeding out at your feet in a prone position.
Very nice.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Apart from flex, that's it.
You did just nearly mop the floor with 2 of these in one turn. That
Yeah.
was pretty impressive. At this point, Giorgio, you are up. You watch Chugrulk make quick work, or nearly quick work, of 2 of these avian creatures.
Let's see, real quick. What's this at? 5, 10, so like 30 feet to there. Okay. I am going to move to the one to right in front of this one, which this one right here is close enough that I can hit it with melee attacks, right?
It's about 15 foot up.
Oh, okay. So it is up a little bit.
Right, it is up a little bit.
Okay. I will leave it then. I'm gonna, from where I'm at, is this, how far is this? This should be fine. It's only 20 feet, 25 feet. I am going to, or I guess it's 30 feet up.
Yeah, that one with the green dot would be
So-
about 30 feet up.
30 feet up. and the range on these things is 20, 60. So 20 is the close range, 60 is at disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, yeah, we'll go back to the one that is lower.
Okay.
So I'll move to here, so that it is in range, and I will take my hand axes and throw both of them.
Okay. Go ahead and show me the first one.
Yeah, seeing Chugrulk knock these down. I'll see if I can do the same thing. So I've got a nat 1 on my first throw, which is fantastic.
Sails completely wide.
Okay. And I have 2, so I will throw the other one. And the second one, I've got a 5 and 9, so 14.
14 still hits. Go ahead and roll for
14
damage.
hits. Okay, so that's going to be 1d6 plus.
You notice these are not heavily armored creatures.
Yeah. So it's a 4 and 6. That's 10 damage on
And?
the second one. And
Okay.
then I'm going to go ahead and spend one of my psionic dice to push it in for extra.
Okay.
So that's going to be actions. Where is that? Check this box. Oh, character sheet crashed.
Yeah, I think everyone's is going to. I just
Oh,
opened mine up in
no.
the PDF. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's
Download
fine.
a
I
PDF.
think yours is
It's
a
fine, I've got the
D8,
PDFs
right?
though.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the thing is, but I have it on the PDF. So let me see. Psionic power. Where is it?
It's still working for me. But
Standard.
I
I think it's
downloaded
just
this
like
in
click
case.
something.
Yeah, I
think
tried to check a box
Yeah,
to use up
Me
one of
too.
the dice. Let's see.
that was my error also.
Psionic power, psionic strike. Where? Tell me exactly.
Dude, I can't even access D&D Beyond at all. Your
Yeah.
whole site
Oh
is
shit!
forked right
Yeah.
now.
I ain't fucking clicking nothing.
Just don't
Yeah,
click
I
anything.
ain't doing that.
Yeah, just read your stuff.
Actually,
I
I'm
can't
just
even.
curious.
I can't even
I'm
pull it
just-
up right now. Or if you, did you guys save it as a PDF?
Yeah, I've got mine saved as a PDF, so I'm
You
fine.
can ignore that roll. I just want to see. So my roll thing is still working on the character sheet. So
Okay, cool.
I'm alright. Either way, I have the sheet downloaded, so I'll be okay.
Unarmed fighting, second wind, action surge, psionic strike. It just doesn't say right here what the damage is.
Or which
It
one?
should say what your die size is for your psionic abilities. I think
Oh,
it's
is it going to be the same for all of
Yeah.
it? Then yeah, it says 1d8.
Yep, it's a D8.
I just couldn't remember if it's a D. If it, that's just it's just a D8 for additional damage. It's not. Okay.
It's like the Battle Master maneuvers. They start at like a D6 and they go up as you get
Yeah. Yeah.
stronger.
Okay. Okay. I just wasn't sure if it was like 1d6 plus 2 or something. Something like that. So I rolled a 6 on that. So it's going to
Okay,
be was
so
it?
16
It
total.
was 16 total damage on
Okay.
this.
You drive the second axe deep into this harpy. It is very bloodied.
Does it fall?
Roll me
Do you want
another.
me to roll?
Yeah, roll me a D6.
2. So
2?
no.
It manages to hold fine on this perch, almost falling sideways like a bat, but hanging on with one of its legs as it reaches to grab for something at its back. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I believe the telekinetic to pull the one hand axe that I whiffed with. I think that is a special action, so I can just do that.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
But I don't know for sure. Again, it doesn't. The action economy is easy to read on D&D Beyond, but not on the sheet. But if I can, then I would spend a second one to pull that back, and it's tiny because it's 2 pounds.
Yeah.
So I should be able to pull it back to my hand as long as it's within 30 feet of me.
Right,
I
I'll allow
missed
it. Well,
it.
we can
I
look it
missed
up
it,
later,
so
but for
close
the time
enough.
being, I'll say go for it.
Okay, so I'll just pull the other one back in my hand, and then I moved from here. Let me see if I can get back to. Let's see, that was. So I moved exactly 30, so I can't move anymore. Okay, that's fine then. I'll stay there.
With that, Cedric, you are up.
So both of the ones that are on the ground now, they're both pretty like equally hurt by the sounds of it, or like they're both pretty
the
bad.
one
One on
that-
the ground is completely dead.
There's one in front of Chugrulk that's almost dead.
Yeah.
It is grievously wounded. There's one about 15 foot in front, up above, hanging from a perch. Now, kind of upside down like a bat, hanging in front of
Right.
Georgio, reaching for something at its spine. And then there's one off to the right-hand side of the map. Is the next closest green dot one, about a little over 30 foot up from Tim.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move 10, 15. I'll move by this one,
Okay.
but I want to go ahead and actually cast my Toll the Dead at the one that's in front of Chugrulk.
Okay. So what save is that?
It's a wisdom save. Wisdom save. Yeah. 13, 14.
Okay, guys, my folks just got here. Give me 1 moment.
Okay.
Okay.
14, you said?
Yes, 14 wisdom.
It does not succeed. Go ahead and roll for damage. It has taken damage, so it should be a D12.
12 damage.
12 damage.
What?
The bell rings inside this creature's head as it squawks and as you see blood pour out of its ears and its lifeless body moves no more.
Yeah. Cool. At level 5, it's 2d8 now, or 2d12.
Oh, it wouldn't have survived either way.
Yeah.
His
Yeah,
head would have
it-
popped.
Yeah,
it's just
it-
Off the
ridiculous.
shoulders.
yeah,
It's a
no,
stupid cantrip for that damage.
no, it's at that point its skull like caves in. There's
And
nothing
then-
left of this creature.
For my bonus action, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Spiritual Weapon at the one that was by Georgio, just kind of hanging up.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and cast it. You should be able to move it around.
Yep, and I'm casting it like pretty much right on it, so I can still attack in the same
Go for it.
turn.
Show me the weapon.
Where did you go?
Stopper, I do add my intelligence modifier to it, which is an extra 2 if you're
Extra
tracking
2?
damage.
Okay.
An extra 2, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Thank you for letting me know.
25 to hit,
20, yeah, absolutely. You crush hard into this thing's spine.
8 damage.
8 damage. You make a solid blow against this creature. It is not quite dead, but it is just on the cusp. As it, go ahead and roll me a d6.
4.
4. It falls from its perch. Give me a moment. And it falls skull first into the stonework, and blood splatters like a fine mist at your feet. He is
Reminds me
no
of,
more.
Reminds me of Dread, the newer one that came out.
Yeah.
Oh god.
What a great movie.
I'm so mad that movie fucking flopped, because that movie fucking was so hard for
it's
no
very
reason.
good, and
These
it's
two
like
off the
that's
board.
on my list of movies, man. That's a good movie.
That's a fucking top fucking 10 for me.
All right. When well, let's see. Tim, you will be up now. This is the beginning of initiative. That was the surprise round. Tim, we're back at the top of the round for you.
that.
As these creatures are all now gearing up to assault you.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I mean, really, might as well go for the one that's a green dot. If I go 5, 10 like this, is that because it's 30? So like that's still disadvantage. Like I don't know, like height wise, that's still. Right.
It's 30 foot up. It depends on the range of whatever you're trying to do.
Oh, so I have Fireball, and my range is fucking dummy long on
With
it.
this point, you can see fairly well. You're right next to a window. I wouldn't give you disadvantage on this one.
Okay,
You're
yeah,
within
it's,
range. As long as
okay.
it's within its
Yeah,
range, which
you
I
wouldn't
think it
have to
is.
You wouldn't have to step in. It's 120 foot range for Fireball.
Yeah, exactly.
you're
That's
good.
why I'm like, I'm not
Yeah,
considering.
no,
That's why I'm
you're-
like, I just want to make
go
sure.
for it.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna cast Firebolt on the one that is right next to me. Let's
Okay.
see. Nope, not that one. Hold on. Where are you? There we go. 15.
15 hits. Go ahead and roll for damage as you send this firebolt again. sailing this last remaining lower tier avian creature as it squawks at you.
12, but
Ooh.
also I forgot to do this my last turn because again it's been forever since we did this.
Okay.
I have, where is it?
The additional damage from your wand.
Arcane firearm. Yep. So I rolled.
Well,
D8
the other
and
one's
add 3
dead,
on top
so
of it.
yeah. So we'll just remember
So
on the next
15
one.
total.
Yeah, 15
That's
total.
ridiculous.
Yeah. I totally forgot about it.
Solid strike into the chest of this harpy, as it squawks and squeals. Go ahead and roll me a d6.
Yes, sir. That's a 5.
It comes crashing down towards you from above as it loses purchase on the banister or the railing. These things are fucking flying off and splatting.
Yo, those splats too. Let's go, dude.
Yeah,
As
guys.
it falls in a very awkward position and it is bloodied.
I was gonna say, did I Final Destination it?
No,
We're
it's
gonna
not
stop
dead,
on
but it
this
is
thing.
bloodied. It is not looking so hot. It is very, very bloodied. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Oh my god.
Okay. Chugrulk, you're up. Also, Spudley, do you need to leave soon?
Maybe soon, but not like obviously, not in the
Okay.
middle of an encounter or anything like that.
Right. We'll go ahead and try to get as far as we can. If you need to leave, we can just let me know.
If we do need to continue, to get more story done, I'm more than happy to recap it myself. And if someone wants to take over my roles, but obviously I'm happy.
We'll
to
try to
do
get
it.
through this. We've been going for... Where are we at now?
We
About
can't open your.
About 2 hours. About 2
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, that's...
We can't open your fucking sheet anyways.
Well, yeah, we can't get your...
I know.
That's right.
Thanks, D&D Beyond!
Yeah,
First.
that's awesome. It's exactly what we needed today. But yeah, no, so I guess my big thing will probably be looking into, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to reach ones that are like 60 feet above me. So I guess I'm just...
Well, there's one down on the ground right now that just fell at
Yeah.
Tim's feet.
That's what I was about to say. Is I think and also I do kind of want to not be the only one over on the side of the room, with the, essentially 6 surrounding me. I think I will kind of maybe...
Well, they're well
collect-
above you all right now.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
yellow ones are like
down on
60
us.
feet above.
Yeah.
So
So
none of them are
I
like, at least
I don't
yet.
think there's...
Sorry.
Well, I just don't think there's anything else I can do except for maybe go over here and just, help the team. Because,
Might
yeah,
as
I'm not a
well.
ranged character.
I'll tell you right now, Spudley, D&D, at least combat, is a game of action economy. So oftentimes the best course of action, just in general, if you have no other things that are more pressing, just getting characters off the board is the best course of action unless you have something else that supersedes that. Like
Yeah, I think I
keeping
learned that
your
when I
people. Yeah.
When I used to play Warhammer, yeah, if you even something on 1 HP can deal a lot of damage, then you want to get it off. Yeah, so I'm
right.
gonna try and finish this.
Same in D&D.
Um,
A character with 1 HP is just as strong as a character with full HP.
Yeah, yep. So I'm gonna try and finish off this one. Just trying to find on the PDF what my rolls were for my sword. So the hit was the D20, obviously again.
Okay.
It was a 18.
18 hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay. That is 13.
13 damage. How do you want to do this?
I mean,
Describe to me
I
how
wanna-
you
I wanna
carve through this creature.
I was about to say I want to absolutely execute this thing. I want to
Nice.
spear my thing down into its chest. This thing's gone.
You spin the blade on its hilt and drive your longsword straight through the sternum of this harpy, watching it come out the other side cleanly as the light of its eyes dissipate and vanish.
And that be it. As I say, I don't think I've got a second attack in me, being that I'm so far from everything else. So, yeah, I'm gonna sit with my comrades in silent waiting.
All right. At this point, the harpies have regrouped. The ones that are closer to you all come down approximately between 20 and 30 feet to get within range. The first here, seeing you all grouped up, begins this serenading melody as it calls out you all. I need everyone in the group to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh no.
Okay.
Got a 7.
16. Okay.
You said wisdom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wisdom's plus 2.
I was like, not
plus
again,
1.
I'm
So I've
having
got I have a
flashbacks.
I have a 10.
10.
10.
Okay. Chugrulk, what do you got?
Yeah, I got a 13.
13. Tim and Chugrulk, you succeed. You shake off the harpy's lullaby as you hear it call into your mind. Cedric and Georgio. The melody is soothing, even in this moment of chaos and combat. As you turn and stare at the harpy. On your next turn, you are currently charmed by the harpy. Basically, you must take your next action to move towards, as you take your full action to move towards the harpy as quickly as you can. You may not attack but at the end of your turn, you may remake the saving throw. Your closest path to this harpy, as it's sitting on the balustrade now. Let me change the color of it so you all can see. This particular one is about 30 feet up. Let me remove move its yellow dot. It's a green dot now. Your fastest course of action to reach this harpy as its alluring melody pulls you in would be to move towards the stairs and go up to the next level. So that is your closest path to get to it. Unless you want to try to climb up the... we'll call it this way. We'll have you each roll a d6 on your next turn.
Okay.
On a 1 through 3, you try to climb up to it. On a 4, 5, or 6, you take the stairs.
How high up is this harpy?
About 30 feet up.
Oh, 30.
30. It flew down. It was one of the yellow dots. It's flown down to within 30 feet from your current position.
This completely destroys everything I wanted to do. That's fine.
With that, this other harpy is going to begin to serenade you all again.
Oh, come on, bro.
But not me and Georgio.
You're double charmed. They cancel each other out. That's how it works.
Oh yeah, I forgot that
that's
mechanic.
As
just
it
math,
sees
right?
you two still
You're right.
fighting through the song, it calls out once more, this harpy, as it flies down, serenading you all with another soothing melody. I need another wisdom saving throw from you, Chugrulk, and you, Shiny. Or you, Tim.
Yeah, I copped a
Get
unfortunate
that
stick.
shit out of here, bitch.
What did you get, Chugrulk?
6.
6. You are charmed by this harpy here.
Fuck.
So on your next turn, I'll have you roll a d6. On a 1 through 3, you're going to try to climb up towards it. On a 4, 5, or 6, you're going to try to take the stairs. But you'll
Literally
repeat the saving throw.
It's the exact opposite. Everyone except for me last time. Now this time.
Seeing what happened here and not being able to charm you, Tim, this one is going to forgo its song, and it's going to reach behind it and pull out a short bow and take some shots at you.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, fine.
Getting a 10 to hit, which I don't think even comes close.
Nope.
As the arrow sails wide, you dodge with ease. These harpies are going to fly down, make sure they have... Let's see. They have a 40-foot fly speed, so they are going to fly down to get within range here. It's going to come right there. That one's going to come right there. Seeing that the 3 of you are incapacitated, move these guys to green. green. That one to green. Seeing that your companions are under control for the time being, these three are going to take shots at you. One's going to get a critical. The other one's getting an 18, which I don't think hits you.
Yeah, cool AC though.
And the other one misses entirely. So one crit.
And we have no reactions or anything we can do while we're charmed.
You are charmed. Your only course of action is to move towards the haunting melody of the harpy. Let's see here. All right. You take 7 piercing damage as an arrow sails in just under your armor, hitting one of the servos just above your shoulder, Tim.
Okay.
And then these ones are going to sail down, not quite within range of you all, but they are going to sail down and fly just above. They are now roughly yellow. They're still a little too high to be considered green, but they are closer. Cut off. And as they approach and begin to knock arrows as well. And or pull makeshift javelins from their respective holsters. With that, Giorgio, roll me a d6, please.
I've got a 5.
A 5. You
So that is head to the
must
stairs,
take your
yes.
full movement towards the stairs.
Okay, and from here to the stairs, 30.
30, and then you would
So-
dash
Oh, I dash, a full dash. Okay.
full speed.
Okay, so to the stairs, I guess to getting to the stairs is going to be 35. Gets me on 'em.
Yeah, so you'd have about, you'd be roughly
And so
about
I'd-
halfway up the stairs.
Roughly halfway up the
So
stairs.
I'll put a mark on you that you're roughly 30 foot up with a green dot. You can go ahead and repeat the saving throw against the song.
Did not.
You are still charmed, allured by the harpy's song that echoes in your mind. Cedric, roll me a d6, please. Or you also take the stairs.
All right.
So you would need to dash as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'd be
You'd be
35 to-
roughly around where Giorgio's at, so if you want to move yourself there, and then I will mark you with a green token, and you can also repeat the saving throw.
It was a wisdom one, right?
Wisdom, yeah.
Right. 13. You shake it off completely at this point. Chugrulk, Tim, and Cedric, you are immune to the harpy's song for the next 24 hours.
So this was after my bonus or after my dash. I went ahead and made the
Yeah,
throw.
that'd be the end of your turn.
Oh, okay, so
yeah,
I get my bonus for my spiritual weapon. Okay.
Right.
How did I gain immunity then? Was that something that Cedric did?
No, because you were able to shake off the harpy.
I haven't rolled yet to shake it off.
Oh, I'm sorry. You made the success the first time, correct?
I
The
succeeded
first
the
time,
first
not the
one,
second.
failed the second
Okay,
one.
one,
I'm
yes,
sorry. Then
yeah.
yes, if you made the first success, you are immune to it for the next 24 hours. So
Okay, yep.
my apologies. That's my mistake.
No, that's all good. Yeah, sweet as.
No, because if I made you redo it every single time, that would be busted as hell. And y'all
I
would
was
never
gonna say,
get-
like, this seems like a cursed situation after I
With-
started thinking
yeah, with that
was
many
how it worked.
creatures, you're likely to fail. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
spectacularly. But once you succeed, it's no longer a threat. 'Cause now you've
Yeah, that makes
come
sense.
to terms with it, essentially. No, but if they were doing this every single turn, yeah, it would be busted.
That would be so OP.
But yeah, you've come to at this point, and you are free of the melody of the harpy. So at this point, Cedric, you succeeded, so you're fine. At this point, Tim, you are up.
Okay. So this time, I just want to make sure. Yes. Okay, cool. I can do this. Okay, so my question is that with this guy, actually, oh, never mind. We're good. So I'm gonna cast Scorching Ray, and we're gonna target 1, 2, 3.
The 3 that are
One.
closest to you.
1 for each one.
Okay, go ahead and
yeah.
go ahead and roll the dice to see if you hit first. Each ray. So yeah, roll the dice to hit, and then we'll roll the damage. 14
I
hits.
think- Oh, it does. Okay, cool.
That's 1. 20 absolutely hits. 13
No.
hits.
Oh shit. Okay.
Hell yeah.
So
Let's
3
fucking
hits.
go.
These are not
All right.
heavily armored creatures.
So now let me ask you this: how does it work if I add my my D8 onto it for my wand?
Is that on every spell attack or just
It's
one?
it's anything that it's any spell that when I cast it through my wand. So let me just double check exactly what.
Then
it
yeah,
says.
you would add it to every, if it's every bolt, every time you would make an attack roll. So that's how I would rule it if that's how it's stated. Unless there's something specifically saying that it's once per turn or something like that.
It says when you cast an artificer spell through a firearm, roll a D8. You gain a bonus to one of the spell's damage rolls equals. Oh, so actually, no, that answers my question. So it's just for one of them. Okay.
Just one of them. Yeah, that's why I asked.
Okay, cool. That answers it. All right, cool. So then we'll just bank it. We'll see what happens. So we'll go for the first one, which was the toppest one.
Right?
Okay. I'll leave that.
You're not gonna add your anything to that one?
Not to that one.
Okay. First one is a solid hit. And then the next one's 8, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I'll add the D8 to the last one.
Okay, go ahead and roll the D8.
Woo!
Nice.
I'll take it.
All solid hits. Let me double check something real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have to. Let's see. No, it doesn't say I have to make concentration on it, so I wanted to double check and make sure they didn't. It wasn't like a spell. As the music still begins to sing in your head, Giorgio, of the harpy. At this point, Chugrulk, you are up. Or, I'm sorry, Tim, was there anything else you'd like to do?
I'm good.
Okay. Chugrulk, you are up. You have
Alrighty.
shaken off the harpy's song, and you have 2 approximately 30 feet above you. Or 3.
Alright, so I'm going
Yeah.
to. I'm gonna aim to the one just diagonally below me. So
Okay. You're
yeah,
attacking
and
with
I'm
your
gonna try and-
spear.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stick with my spear again.
Okay.
I'm going to. Hang on. Of course, it keeps rolling off the damn table. I got a 7 + 7, 14 to hit.
14 hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Which is that is an 8 total.
8 total damage. Okay. Not quite enough to dislodge it for a roll, but still a decent amount of damage. That was
And
the
my
one. Sorry, I'm
Would
just-
that mean my spear is stuck in the beast, or did it?
Yes. Yeah, it hasn't fallen towards you because it wasn't
Yeah,
enough
okay.
damage to dislodge it.
Not a problem. I guess the other thing that I've got is a crossbow. It's got an 80/320 range. Does that mean I have to be 80 away?
No, 80 means that you're within normal range of the crossbow. Like if you were to fire, anything above 80 feet away, you would be shooting at long range and therefore disadvantage, is what that
Disadvantage,
second
yeah.
number means. That your
Okay.
total range is 320, but anything above 80 is at disadvantage because it's a long shot.
Right.
So you could whip out the crossbow and start firing that too.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's really all I've got at this stage that's actually going to be able to hit anything. So
You got it.
I think that I'm gonna shoot at the same one with my crossbow.
Okay, go for it. This one is bloodied as it took a pretty grievous wound from that
So
spear.
that's a 16 hit,
16 hits. Roll for damage.
and that's a 5 damage.
5 damage. This one is definitely bloodied.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's all I have.
All right. Let's see. All right. With that, the Harpies proceed to begin their assault. These three are going to move to assault you, Cedric. One is going to get right over here. One is going to move over there, and another one is going to get just a little ways off to try to fire some arrows at you. And because of the, well, not the ranged one, but the two melees will be at advantage as they are flanking you. Let me double check something real quick here. Okay. Arrow to start with. That is a 10, which are, I'm sorry. No, a 13, which I don't think hits you.
No.
The other two are going to attack you twice each at advantage. They are within melee range with their talons now. First, wow, even with advantage, rolled like shit. Definitely doesn't hit. The second strike is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, let me roll the other two for the other ones.
Okay.
One is a crit.
That hits.
You gotta stop doing that stuff. What the hell, man?
The other one is a 23.
Oh
Yep.
my
We got
God.
3 hits here, so 3 hits, one being a crit.
Fine. It's fine.
Check here. You roll. That is 13 slashing damage as the claws rake across the edge of your shoulder and one across your hip. All right. Then, let's see here. The other one, or the other ones here, one is focusing on you, Giorgio. Continuing to sing its melody towards you. These other two are going to fire down, or I'm sorry, are going to do similar things. Seeing Chugrulk as such a problem, they're going to come after you with the same sort of tactics and flank.
Too
Hitting
much
two.
aggro, bro.
Yeah.
With a
I was throwing
17
aggro
to hit
since
on
before
one.
outside the building.
I'm sorry. 17, which I don't think hits you.
Again, I was gonna ask how I check that.
Should you be your
Just my
armor
armor
class? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you're
yeah,
at a
I-
20 now.
Yeah.
And then the next one completely misses. One gets a crit.
Shield is nice.
One gets a 24.
I've got a defense of critical hits because of my adamantine.
Right. Okay.
like-
So you don't take the crit, but you still take the damage. You just don't take the extra crit damage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
forgot
That's
you have
pretty good.
adamantine now. So,
Yeah.
all right. Still going to take a little bit of damage here from 2 of the strikes. That'll be 13 slashing damage. The first comes down across your back, and another one comes across your thigh. And then this one, let me double check. Is it? No, there's a bonus action to continue singing. Okay. So this one is going to fire at you, Tim.
Okay.
Getting a 18 to hit.
Get fucked. 19.
Ah, that's right, because your new armor. Damn it.
Baby.
Damn it, I would have hit before. All right, it just barely grazes off of your new fashioned armor, those raised pauldrons doing their job.
I'm imagining
Tobias's
Jacob.
crow saving your ass.
I'm imagining you like not actually rolling, like acting rolling, like, oh, does an 18 hit? Like,
I'm
like,
dead
oh,
serious,
just
does an
barely got
18?
I'm kidding. I know, I'm kidding. But he's like, I'm just
forgetting that
imagining
the
you doing
armor.
that. Just like yeah, it's like, oh, does an 18 hit? And he's like, no, actually, dude.
Aw.
Ah, fuck. Like I meant to, like.
No, I'm flanking because you guys have so much
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
AC. Ridiculous. 'Cause I have to get freaking advantage. Do anything to you fuckers.
Yeah, man. You
Just
should
have him swing at me.
have
Just have him swing at me. I'm
let
still
us
sitting
upgrade
here
our
at
shit.
17, like an idiot.
That's all
Yeah,
right.
don't get mad at
Yeah.
us, DM shit.
Hey, there's choices to that, and there's downsides to that too, like your stealth rolls.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean,
You-
one would
You
argue
have
we
the
did
stealthing
pretty dang good.
capability of a rusty old shed. But yeah, those ones are going to take that. The other one is going to continue singing at you, Giorgio, and you are up. I need you
I'm
to
moving
start
again,
by
right?
moving 30 feet up to the next level,
Uh-huh.
and then,
Which puts me next to it. Yeah.
well, it puts you. The one that's singing is on the opposite side over here.
Oh, I gotta
originally-
go over here. Okay, so I'm up at the top, so I'm next to this one, and now do I go
So-
across this way?
So you have to take the closest and swiftest route to it.
Which I think would be this way, yeah?
Would be over the railing.
Ah, okay, so I'm gonna jump. Fantastic.
Right. I need you to make one more wisdom save. If not, you're going to fall over the railing.
Okay. And I've got a 5.
5 does
Oh my
not
God.
succeed.
Uh-huh.
You're going to take 3d6 fall damage.
Okay. 3d6 fall damage. 1, 2, and 3.
Well, I'm rolling it.
Oh, you're rolling. Okay.
Yeah. That is 9 bludgeoning damage as you swing over the side of the rail and go face first
Whee!
into the stone floor below, hitting
Yep.
hard. Let me double check and make sure.
Does that wake me up?
And that's what I'm looking up right now. I don't know if you are continuing to be charmed
I
after you
don't
take
think
a.
so.
Well, it is the end of your turn, so you would make the saving throw again.
I do make this.
It is the end of your turn, so you'd make it anyway.
Okay.
damn
And
it,
this
dude,
time
come on.
I've rolled a 18 on the dice, which
Nice.
is a
Yes,
21.
20.
Yeah.
What the fuck
The-
just happened?
Yeah.
As
so I
you,
wake up.
Cedric, you watch as Giorgio, allured by the song of the harpies, just wades right face first over the railing like a love-struck 15-year-old.
Yeah. Look, hey, so
But you
do-
are jarred
I'm
to
no- I'm
reality.
now- yeah, and I'm now immune to the charm, right?
Yes, you are immune to the
And-
harpy song.
Would I know that?
All you know is you just felt like you just fell off of a building.
Okay, so I'm not
Essentially-
aware. I'm not aware that I'm not aware that I've been charmed at all.
No. You knew something happened. You just really haven't come to terms with it because you fell 30 feet to a stone
Yeah.
floor.
And just bonked on the thing. Okay. Any that my turn's over now?
Yeah, that was the
Or-
end of your
okay.
turn. Yeah, you make the saving
Okay.
throw again at the end of your turn. So next
Okay.
turn you're immune to the deal.
Okay. Okay. Next turn,
Right.
I can now act normally,
Yes.
but I'm out of actions.
Right. Your turn's over now because that was the end of your turn. Because you had to move your full distance to get to
Yeah.
the harpy.
Which running 30 feet up the stairs and then jumping 30 feet down the stairs is all of my movement. Got it. Perfect.
Yeah. Typically, you know, as a reasonable character, that's why I had you roll a d6 to see if you had rolled low on it. I'd have made you climb, and the likelihood that
Yeah,
you would
yeah.
have fallen would have been pretty high. Really, doorbell. Harpies are not the only annoying song today. But yeah, normally that's why I was like, what's the fastest route that a normal human being would take? But in this
Yeah.
case, your only route, most direct route, is right over the railing. And the harpies know it. That's what they were trying to do. But yeah. Anyway, Cedric, you are back and conscious. You just took some slashing damage from these creatures. What would you like to do? You have
So,
3 harpies around you.
down to the bottom of the stairs. That would be. Would that be another 30? Or like, where am I in relation to like how far? up the
Giorgio
stairs
went
I am?
up to the next level, and then fell.
So I'm not quite there.
No, you're about halfway through this. You're about halfway up the stairs.
You're where I was, so you would do the same thing as me.
Well, no,
presumably.
he's not under the charm.
Oh, he's no longer being charged. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, he was out of the charm at the end of his last turn.
Okay.
You have your full. You're fully conscious of what you're doing.
Right. So. I think what I want to do is, and I'll take the opportunity to attack. I'll move 5, 10, 15, 20 to be here.
Okay.
So I'll take 2 opportunity,
Right.
or yeah, 2 opportunity attacks.
Right. The one would.
Um,
I'm sorry. What were you gonna?
Go
ahead
ahead.
and tell me what you were gonna do, and then we'll realize that.
Yep, and then I'm gonna go ahead and burn one of the charges on my Mace of Terror to hit
Okay.
any of the harpies that I can within 30 feet, which I think would only be like these 4 that are closest to me.
The Mace of Terror. Yeah, where you're standing now, it doesn't go around walls, so it'd be about halfway. Building itself in diameter or distance total is about 50 feet, but you're at the very leading edge, so it would only go about to the middle if you were the center focus, which you are because you're casting it through the mace.
Yeah,
So it would
but I
come
would
out.
hit like the 3 on the stairs and then the 1 to my right.
Right. Yes. Yeah. You would
Yeah,
hit.
that's
you would-
fine.
This one by Tim would be just out of range.
Yep, that's my intention.
Okay. Let's go ahead and realize the 2 attacks, and then I'll have you activate the terror. We'll do those saving
Yep.
throws. So the one is going to hit you with advantage, as it was flanking when you moved out. The other one will be just normal. Is an 18 hit
On the die, yeah.
on the AC? Okay. Try the other one first. Cool. That's a 19.
Okay.
It was a 15 and a 16 on the die, plus their modifier.
Okay, cool.
More swipes here. That is 14 slashing damage from the 2 strikes.
Not great, but that's fine.
But at this point, you are free to activate your mace. So I would need to make... It's 15 wisdom, right?
Correct, yep.
Okay, so we'll just start left to right and then go basically 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Sick.
First one. Nope. Oh, okay. That makes it. 1 failure. 1 success. 2 failures. 3 failures. So the only one that succeeded would be this second one right here. So it is immune to the effect of the mace. The other ones are all going to be terrified of you for the time being. So I will go ahead and add that marker to them as they are feared. So on their turn, they have to move away from you as fast as possible in the most direct route they can. And any attacks they make against you would be at disadvantage.
Yep.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to do? You used your action. Oh, you still have your weapon.
I still have my mace, yeah.
Yep.
It's not. I'm trying to take away a charge on it, and it's not letting me. I'll figure that out.
Yeah, just there's 3 charges that 1d3 at dawn that regenerate.
Yeah. Okay. And then both of these harpies that are by Chugrulk and Tim, they're both like equally hurt by the sounds of it.
The one that's south of Chugrulk is far more hurt than the other ones.
South of Chugrulk it is.
All right.
Never mind.
Yeah. It swings wide and easily and dodges out of the way as the spiritual weapon hits hard against one of the timbers. But with that, is there anything else you would like to do?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Tim, you are up.
Okay. I mean, might as well rinse and repeat. I'll do Scorching Ray again to the same 3.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the hits. And we'll adjust the damage. 25 hits. 24 hits. 20. Oh my god! Holy shit!
3 ridiculous rolls.
Just so everyone who's listening knows what just happened. A 25, a 24, and a 23 to hit.
Yeah,
No bullshit. No cap. That just happened.
I'm fucking +8 on my fucking rolls, dude. This is fucking rad.
The triple bingo, dude.
So
Let's fucking go.
describe to me how this happens as you hit, and then we'll roll the damage. I want to hear the description of how Tim basically just gambits these 3 harpies with a scorching ray.
I fucking no idea. Oh my god. I just
the laser.
Let's see.
I'm gonna fire my laser.
I raise my wand to the sky and put my hands over it, and then 3 lasers just shoot out like a laser light show.
Like a Blue Man Group concert, there are firebolts everywhere in all directions, all sailing towards their respective targets with ease. Go ahead and roll for damage on the 3.
All right,
starting with the top one. And you can add whichever one you want the D8 to.
All right, I'm gonna hold that, so I'll keep a 6.
Okay.
I'll keep the 8.
Okay.
Shit. That last was a 12. Fuck. Okay.
You want to put the 8 on the last one?
I mean, I already rolled it, so I mean, technically I have to do that one, so.
It's good you did, because that one just went up in a cinder.
Okay,
As
cool.
the final one, you fire the first solid impact. The second, a more intense impact. The last one, you look at it directly in the eyes and shake your head. And you visually escort it from this world as it erupts in flame. And it is no more.
Love it.
And you can have a point of inspiration for that one.
Oh, hot. Okay.
That was awesome.
That is fucking wild.
It's just a wonderful moment there of randomness and polarity from the dice. But the other 2 are looking not so great as their feathers have all but been singed off in multiple areas. They're looking like spring chickens more so than harpies. But with that, is there anything else you would like to do, Tim?
No, I'm good.
Chugrulk, you are up. You just watched Tim incinerate the harpy to your behind you as another one scratched at you previously. But it is within range of you. You can take this marker off. It is within melee range of you.
I guess first things first, I'm just going to continue on my bloodbath trail, I guess, and I'm going to be striking this thing down with my longsword.
All right, go for it.
That is a 15 to hit.
15 hits. Roll for damage.
And oh, that's the worst one I've gotten. That's a 7.
7 damage. You carve into this creature, doing not bad damage. It's still capable, but it is very wounded.
All right, with some dismay in my eyes, I sigh and take another swing at this thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna only get a 12 on that one to hit.
12 just hits.
Okay. All right. Come on. Oh, here we go. All right, we've got this. This is a 12 damage.
12 damage. You carve this creature in half.
Nice.
And
Love to see
with that,
it.
that's it. That's the end of my turn. I'm gonna sit there and flex once more.
You still have your movement as well.
I mean, like, that's the thing. I was actually considering that, and I'm not sure exactly how safe, if I get myself any safer by moving next to this one, which was my only thought. But
Either way, I'm just letting you know you still have your movement.
yeah, no.
You want to get in
you're
position
right.
for the next round.
Yeah, and yeah, sorry, I did. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think that you could move after you'd already attacked.
You
so
can
that's
move
good
as
to
long
know.
as you still have movement.
Okay, cool.
Whenever you want, as long as you still
yeah.
have it.
You can step 5 feet, do something. Step 5 more, do something
Oh,
else.
sweet.
Right.
So you can kind of do it
Yeah,
like that.
literally
you can do
do it to a
whatever,
bunch
yeah.
of-
I think I've just got too much of the movement phase, battle phase, kind of from Warhammer
Mhm.
in my head.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. Move, so that's 5, 10. I'm just gonna go up to here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna end my turn with the squad.
I had a question for you, Cedric. On when you moved over here, did you move back down the stairs, passing this harpy here?
No.
Because where
No,
you're
I-
standing right now, you would have jumped over the rail. The rail ends 10 feet from the wall on the upper levels.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was at the bottom of the stairs, that one.
Right, here, let me show you guys just so you're aware of what the upper railings look like. Because if people were going up, I was going to do that. So the railings look like this on the upper levels.
Oh, I gotcha.
So if you're
Okay.
still in the upper level, it's not a big deal. You're still within melee range, so you wouldn't have taken the third opportunity attack, but you would need to stay closer to the wall, is all I'm
You
saying.
have to be on solid ground. Is
Right.
I got it.
Otherwise, you would have done what Giorgio did and jumped over the
Yeah.
railing.
Yeah.
Can I stand on the railing?
If you want to give
Cool
me
guy.
an acrobatics check.
I will not do that.
Okay. You can certainly try.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'll be closer to the wall then, like I'm supposed to.
There you go. I just didn't think about it when you were. It's hard for me to keep track of it too in space, so that's why I
Yeah,
had to
I
do the
gotcha.
markers. This is definitely an encounter that would be better with miniatures than
Yeah.
like a
Oh
three-dimensional.
yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah.
I tried to give a little bit of third dimension to this. It's just hard on a flat surface.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. With that, Chugrulk, you're wrapped up. Next up is the Harpies. Without their song to rely on, they are in a frenzy. They're going to continue to try to assault you. This one is going to fly overhead with its movement, trying to cut you off again, Cedric. This one over here is going to fly down the stairs. It's only getting to about here, just within range of Chugrulk. Not enough to flank. This one.
Shouldn't it be flying away from me?
Oh, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. My apologies.
Yeah.
The first one, not so much. This one, yes, is going to try to fly away. This one, I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me about the fear. That one, this one needs to fly as far away from you as possible. Still flying overhead, but moving away. Move. Is it right here? Yeah, it's going to move that way to get away from you and lose sight.
Would Tim have gotten an opportunity attack, or was it still up in the air?
It's still up in the
If it
air.
was on the ground or up in the air. Okay.
It's still up in the air. Because it didn't take enough damage to bring it down.
Yeah.
This one, I'm sorry, this one can't move closer to you. So it is going to fly the fuck away. Chugrulk and Cedric, you would get opportunity attacks on this one as it tries to scream away from you.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And your Sentinel, if you hit, would proc.
don't
Yes,
think I got
I was
it.
about to say, what's the is it just a natural hitting roll?
Just roll an attack with your longsword as it is within melee range.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so 16.
16 hits. Yeah, so Sentinel procs, it cannot move.
Yep.
As it screams at Cedric, waves of fear in its eyes. As Chugrulk attempts to dart away, and Chugrulk, you knock it down out of the air. So roll for damage.
That is 10.
10.
Nice.
Hit. Cedric, you would also get an attack of opportunity on this one.
I roll a 10. I
10,
don't think I hit.
10 just misses.
Yeah.
One. But it cannot move away as Cedric, your Sentinel, keeps it in place.
Sure.
As it tries to scream. This one, let's see. Man, does that still count as it's trying to run away? Technically, it's flanking, but it's not trying to actively attack you. But it is
Yeah, I
technically
think you have
still...
to be actively engaged with something. and
Right.
get Flanking.
Yeah, we're going to roll it that way. Or rule it that way. So I'm not going to give this one advantage as it tries to attack you. Yeah, and it misses completely. As it goes to slash at you. Oh, it still has the other one. That one does hit, though.
Okay.
With a 23.
Yep.
That is 5 slashing damage to you.
Okay.
And then these ones. This one cannot attack as it's feared. These ones are all going to come down within range. Does that aura stay in place around you?
No, my fear is just I actually have to select the targets, I believe. I'll reread it.
Does
But-
it? I'm just asking, does the aura stay in place? I forget. Is it like Spirit Guardians, or is it just like a blast and then dissipates immediately?
It looks like it's just a blast and then it dissipates by the way that it's written.
Okay. Then we'll go ahead and rule it like that. If we figure out that it's something else, we'll play it differently. But
Yeah, I don't think so.
let's see, 40 feet. These ones are going to drop down into that 30-foot range. They're about 20 foot up, but they were about 50 or 60 foot up previously. They don't have enough fly speed to get down right on you, Tim, but they all are going to take pot shots at you with short bows and spears.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But that puts them within range later on.
Love it.
All at once for these. Oh. Wow. They all rolled like shit.
This is good.
There's a 3, a 6, and a 6 on the die, none of which are going to hit you. As you nimbly dodge out of the way, Tim, of all the arrows.
Reminds me of the Snyder cut with Superman's like, Not good enough.
Yeah, you're just like
Like, that's okay.
almost
That's
in an
alright.
insulting manner. But yeah, I think that is none of these other ones. Technically, they move away. They can still. This one moved behind the wall, so it's not going to be able to attack you, Tim. This one tried to move away and got salted. It's going to swing at you, Chugrulk. This one cannot. It's trying to get behind the wall. This other one's going to try to swing at you, Chugrulk. 2 attacks. Missing both of them completely. There's no way. It's not even close to a 20 AC. Yeah, just it's so terrified of Cedric right next to it. It's just swinging wildly. But with that, Georgio, you are up. You are no longer charmed. A bit dizzied from your fall.
Mhm.
But you are within. If you used up most of your movement, you could get well within range of these harpies near Cedric.
So, let's see. None of these are on the ground level, right?
No, they're about halfway up the stairs. So if you burned your whole movement, you could get to them.
Okay. Can I go outside and see if there's anything out here? Let's see if I started, I think I was here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. If I come out here and just see if there's any way to ascend the clock tower from the outside.
Give me a perception check.
That is going to be a 4 and a 5, so 9.
9, it's hard
Yeah.
to see. It's really
Okay.
foggy with the haze as well as the general moisture of this area. It's hard to see if there's anything that you could use to climb properly.
Okay.
Not in your haste to move and find a way to climb.
Okay. So I've got that, and then I have, I can recover as a bonus action. I can recover one of my psionic dice,
Okay.
and so I'll do that before I end my turn. That's it.
You still have your action.
I don't think that there's anything. I'll be all right.
Okay. With that, Cedric, you are up.
I'm going to. Ooh, geez, what do I want to do? Yeah, I'll use Toll the Dead on the one that's closest to me here. I
Well,
don't think it has
they're-
damage on it.
Well,
The
there's the
one
be-
to the right of me.
the one to the
sorry.
right does not. Oh. But the one
Oh,
on
the
your
one to the left does though, right?
yes has quite a bit actually.
Okay. Yeah, I'll actually use it on that one.
Okay. All right. 14 wisdom.
Yes.
It fails. Go ahead and roll for damage. Natural 3. 9 damage. The bell
Yep.
tolls like the bells above in its skull. As you see blood begin to spill out of its... it is bloodied.
Okay. And then I'll use my bonus action to actually use. Which one is it? Yeah, Healing Word
Okay.
on myself. And I'll cast it at level 2 here.
Okay.
14.
Nice. Good healing.
Mhm.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, I'm fine for now.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to... This one... Oh, that would have been this upcoming turn. Yeah, they wouldn't... No, it would have been the last turn. They didn't do their saves to see if they get a resistance
Oh,
here.
yeah, they do
So,
another turn.
going across, let's see, there's 3 total. So they have... One on the left fails. The one beside you also fails. The one in the corner fails, so they suck at it. They're still
Cool.
scared as shit.
Nothing-
They're still
nothing
chicken.
worried.
All right. With that, Tim, we're back to the top of the round with you.
Okay. Let's go.
All these harpies are about 20 foot overhead.
Yeah, I was just looking to see to help Cedric out. He's got a little bonked, so. Okay, I'm gonna cast Scorching Ray again. I'm gonna do 3, so I'm gonna do first one's gonna be to the for me is the left harpy of Cedric. The second one's gonna be the second one is gonna be to the right of, for me for Cedric, and then the last one's gonna be the one that's diagonal to me. So 1, 2, 3.
Go ahead and roll the attacks.
I can find it. Of course, now I can't find it. Where are you?
Should be a d20 plus your attack, your spell modifier plus your proficiency.
Oh no, I was looking for the actual spell. Like I was looking in the wrong section.
Gotcha.
I was looking in the wrong thing.
Right.
1. No. Oh, there it is. That's a
miss.
fucking terrible.
There it is.
That's a miss. Yeah.
All right, show me the next one.
That's okay.
That's a hit.
That's cool.
And that's a hit. So you hit 2.
Not bad.
One is squirming so wildly, it just goes suddenly past them and doesn't make contact. But the other 2 hit solidly. Go ahead and roll for damage.
All right. So for the one for the right of Cedric, I will add the D8 to that one.
Okay. So go ahead and add the D8. 11.
Mm-hmm. And then this is gonna be for the one that's diagonal to me. 7.
Okay. 7. That one is looking very badly wounded. All right. Is there anything else you would like to do?
No.
Okay. Chugrulk, we are back to you. Are you good on time, Spudley?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This might be like maybe my last turn that I might be able to take.
Okay.
So if somebody else can continue doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to clarify: is Cedric above me on like the next floor up?
Yes. He's about halfway up the stairs. Yeah. So about 15, 20 foot above you.
And then the same with the harpies; they're also above.
Yes, they're above you because but you could use your movement to get to them. If you burned up your movement, you could get to either one.
Okay.
Within melee range, if that's what you're intending.
Yeah, that was kind of my intention.
Okay.
So yeah, I will probably use my movement to get up to the one that's to the left of Cedric.
So something like right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. You do get advantage because you are flanking. So any of your attacks would be at advantage.
All right. Cool. I'm going to use my longsword.
Okay.
So that's a 17 plus 7 to hit.
Oh, absolutely. Solidly hits this creature. Roll for damage.
Alrighty, and my damage is 14.
14. All right. This harpy is almost on death's door.
Oh, well, get ready for that door.
Okay.
I'm coming in again.
I love it.
That's a great one.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Daddy's knocking.
Go if you want to roll the damage, we'll just say so you roll your damage die and you double the die and then add your bonus.
Ah, okay.
But I really doubt.
Okay. That's 16.
16. You carve this thing cleanly in half from the edge of the hip all the way up through the wing, like you're carving a fine roasted chicken as it crumbles to the ground in pieces. Cedric, you get a nice splatter of harpy blood across your back.
No worries, Cedric.
Is there anything else you would like to do? You still have your bonus action.
So With your bonus action, is that only that's only moving or attacking it? You can't. It's not like a whole. I don't think I can reach anything else. Oh wait, no, I still got my crossbow, don't I?
One of these. This one is. I'm sorry. This one is dead. Sorry. Just trying to make sure. Yeah, should be 5 total remaining. Yep. Sorry, can you repeat that?
No, I was just gonna say I might use my crossbow for this second action.
You already attacked twice, so you've already used up your action. You couldn't attack again.
Sorry. What's the bonus action mean then?
Bonus action is like a lesser action, so sometimes if you have like your second wind, sometimes fighters have various things they can do with it. Not like a lot.
Surprise attack or something like. Yeah, no, I don't think I've got anything that I need to use.
So
I just checked the tab, so.
Okay.
All good.
All right. Well, if that's the case, next up would be the harpies. They're pretty close. There's 5 of them. Most are wounded already. So if you want to wait around, we can do that, or we can just continue. If you really need to go right now, we can do that.
No, I mean I should have another like 5-10.
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll have enough time to finish then. With that, this harpy is gonna try to run away as fast as it can.
Where are you going? We're having fun.
It's trying to move away from Cedric. This one is going to claw at you, Cedric. It's going to take 2 attacks.
What a jerk.
Neither of them hit. Doesn't matter. It's not getting through your thick armor. These 2, Tim, are going to fly down and surround you. Claw at you with advantage. Getting a 21 to hit.
Yeah.
Second one on that one misses. Getting a 22 to hit.
Yeah.
Crit.
Okay.
Seriously?
They were both rolling an advantage. They both have multi-attack.
Yeah.
That was 4 advantage rolls.
Unacceptable.
You gotta do something, man. You all got heavy armor.
Well, that shouldn't be our problem. But it is.
I'm gonna make it your problem.
Evidently, yeah.
I gave you all that shit so I could have fun. That is 17 slashing damage, Tim.
Okay.
The harpies surround you and begin to claw from you just above, about 5 foot down, scraping at you, grabbing for any loose cords and appendages they can, trying to take full advantage of surrounding you. The other 2 are going to try to make their saving throws again, which Fuck. Well, the one misses completely. Damn, dude, these 2 are so stupid. Yeah, they're still scared as shit. Next up is Georgio.
Okay. So I am outside.
Right.
Are these inside? I wouldn't know this, but are these the only 4 harpies that are left
That you can see.
that we can see? Okay. So I can move. Let's see. Let me do this so that I can measure this. I can move 30 here, and then 30 more here if I'm dashing. Okay. So I want to move to that first spot, which is here.
Okay.
And then, or I guess if I come back here, probably would be better. So if I was there, let me look at it again. Yeah, that's 35. So 30. Yeah, I want to come back a little bit more so I can see more of like move away from the tower so I can see more. So I'll be right here.
Okay.
And then do another check to see if I can just get a better look at the tower.
Roll for perception.
And so this one's going to be a 14.
With a 14, you notice that there about every 60 to 70 feet up, there are like if you've ever seen a Juliet balcony railing where there's nothing like to stand on in front of it. It's usually like in front of a window and it's just there for show.
Oh, okay. I see. So yeah, from inside.
Yeah, there's an exterior railing or like a wood railing that's about.
Yeah.
It's just for show. Usually it's in front of like a double door. In this case, it's in front of a glass window for show.
Yeah.
Or to protect it from flying birds so creatures don't come sailing through it because they're too stupid to know it's a window. Okay. But there are some things that you could potentially use to fasten a rope to and climb to, but there's no exterior like intended entrances, not until you get up to the belfries, which are designed to be open for the bells to ring out to the city.
Okay. And that has stuff that you can like walk around on outside.
But the belfries are like 200 feet in the air.
Sure, yeah, it's all the way up. Okay. From here, the only other thing I could think is maybe on the backside there's something. And so
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll move around and then attempt to get over there to check again.
Okay.
But that's my full movement for the turn.
Okay. If you want to use your bonus action, you can check one more time, but...
Well, I wouldn't think on the sides that there would be anything. I would think on the back,
from what you can see with that check that you had, you can see, and you're pretty certain before you even go around the back side, there's nothing. There's only really one entrance to this building, and that's double doors you passed through earlier.
Okay. So, well then I'll just move back to close to the entrance again.
Okay. Yeah, the only intended entrance is the one at the base of the tower.
Yeah.
And then the belfries at the top.
Okay.
Which are intended to be open for sound. With that, Cedric, you are up. After which I will have. We'll roll. You'll see in a minute. But go ahead and make have your turn.
Yep, I'll go ahead and do my first. We'll do Toll the Dead again, on the one that's closest to me here.
Okay. That one, yeah, it has been wounded already. So, it needs to make a 14.
Yes.
It gets a nat 20.
Okay, so it does pretty well.
Yeah, it's become accustomed to your tactics as it's watched you assault multiple of its companions. And it shakes it off very quickly and begins to screech at you.
Okay. I'm going to move my spiritual weapon just up on this one. And,
Okay. If you move, how much range movement does your spiritual weapon have?
I can move it up to 25 feet.
If you moved it behind, you would have advantage due to flanking with Tim.
I don't think it gets flanking.
Does it? It doesn't count as... Oh. I don't know.
I don't think spiritual weapon gets flanking because it's not an actual, like, ally.
Ah, that's right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll to attack then.
$22 for 5 damage.
5 damage. Yes. It is. That one. Yeah, that is just enough. You come down hard on this creature, and after the severe bout of fire from Tim, it is crushed over the back of the skull and is no more.
Dead?
Dead.
Nope.
Big fat dead.
Is there anything else you all would like to do?
I just move it up there.
Okay. With all of these harpies, with the exception of maybe the 2 that are scared at this point, go ahead and someone roll me a d20.
Yeah.
The 15. I would say with one more round, you would easily be able to chase these creatures down and dispatch them. Just to expedite this combat a little bit, because Chugrulk or Spudley needs to head out for... and I didn't want to drag it out any further, especially since you more than scared the shit out of these 2, and I don't see them succeeding very easily.
I just imagine Papa Spudley in the door frame, just like...
That's it. I was like, man, I tripped, guys. I need to make it up
Just
to you.
imagine that Cedric chases those 2 into a corner, as Tim lights the other two on fire and Chugrulk
Then we
carves
just-
them like
yeah.
roasted chickens.
We stomp them all in the corner.
And Giorgio comes back in and carves up the last one with an axe.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Giorgio comes in. You guys did well.
Great job, team. I think we all
Yeah.
contributed equally.
Yeah. Guys, this tower is beautiful on the outside. Have you seen it?
It is definitely a structure that is more intended as a facade than it is as a well-designed piece of architecture. It's very utilitarian, and from the inside, it's form over or function over form on the interior, mechanically. But you have several heights to reach up to the top of the tower. Giorgio, with that roll, in addition to what you saw as far as the belfry and what you saw previously, you would have noticed that there is something else, some things else above.
Uh-oh.
There is more to. You would have seen them from the distance as you approached as well. Having seen the belfry would have been the only opening at a distance you would have been able to see, and there were definitely at least one, if not more, creatures higher in this tower. But we'll get to that next time.